Bama gang. We always hit the nail on the head. So check this out. My Miami Hurricane fans, my Florida State Seminoles, my Florida Gators, my college football fans in general. Now, obviously, it's recruiting. Now, normally I don't do these Sunday mornings, but this morning I kind of woke up with an idea. A lot of Sundays, I'm the only one up. I'm the only one up. My kids are still sleeping. My girl's still sleeping. But I'm a morning person. So I'm pretty sure if I'm a morning person, there's a lot of people out there that probably got up just as early as I did and ain't got nothing to do. Ain't got nothing to do. I'm pretty sure some of y'all can relate. Y'all can get in the comment section and let me know if it's just me, you know. But guys, before we get this show, this segment started, do me a huge favor. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you ain't already. And share the channel. Share the channel with a Florida State fan, a Miami fan, a Florida State, Florida Gator, college football fan in general. As you guys know right now, recruiting is hot. Recruiting is hot. Visits are hot. Miami's picking up some, recruits here and there, commitments here and there, visits here and there, you name it. So obviously, the big weekend. This is the big weekend for Miami. Some of the kids are wrapping up their visits. Some of them are headed home. Some of them are headed to other places. But this weekend was huge. Now, Miami did get a commitment out of this weekend in a linebacker / safety, well, just all around DB in general. And Cameron Pewitt reported that last night. Videos on the channel. I think it's like a 4 or 5 minute video. You guys can check that out if you want. But I'm here to talk about all three schools and a little bit more of college football today. So, like I said, guys, early morning stream. I think I'm going to start doing these a lot more often on these Sunday mornings because oftentimes I'm the only one up early Sunday morning. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of fans out there of college football that can relate. So you guys could tune in and we could talk some college football. Now, Miami did get 2 commitments from what I'm hearing. From what I'm hearing, they got 2 commitments yesterday. One of them went public with Cameron Pewitt, of course. And the other one, if you don't get it today, you should get it in the next couple of days. Basically, they want to space them out a little bit, give the commits some time to get some shine, of course. Think about it like this. Everybody can commit at the same time and everything like that. But let's just say I'm Rasby and you Omarion. If we both commit at the same time, but for those of y'all don't know, Rasby and Omarion was in a group called B2K with like 2 other guys, Lil Fizz and I forgot the other guy's name. Anyways, so imagine you Rasby and I'm Omarion and we commit at the same time. Omarion gonna get all the attention and Rasby's gonna feel like, you know what? These fans don't love me like they supposed to or whatever. So, we're in the social media days. So a lot of these kids, they shine. They like the attention. They get their followers up and everything like that. And it also helps with NIL. So, you can't blame a kid for wanting some, a little bit of clout off their own name, image, and likeness committing to a school. So, of course, Cameron Pewitt, he committed. So, Twitter, Instagram, and all of that, all the Hurricane fans, y'all run his numbers up, run his number up. Go give him a follow. Let's, try to show him some love. Keep him locked in with the Hurricanes. Don't let no other fan base come in there and, show him more love than we did. That's how you get some decommits or some flips. So, yes, man, last night, linebacker, considered a 3-star on the composite, but it was a 4-star on 247 Sports. So we're going to talk about all that. But first, we're going to dive into the rankings, basically, the 2024 college football rankings, team rankings. And now this is all according to 247 Sports. This graphics and details and, rankings is brought to you by 247 Sports. That's the website that I'm using, I'm referring. So, as you guys can see, Georgia's the number 1 class. They already got 18 commits with 3 5-stars. So Georgia's doing big things. It is what it is. The top 5 basically as of right now. And this will change, guys. Keep in mind it's just June. Recruiting, like I always say on this channel, It doesn't end in January, February, March, April, May, June, July, or whatever. It goes all the way down to signing day. Once they sign on the dotted line, that's when, everything is official. And hopefully, nobody don't ask to get out of their letter of intent. So, yeah. Anyways, so Georgia, Michigan, Notre Dame, Ohio State, and LSU. LSU is on a roll right now. 11 got 11 4-stars already committed. No 5-star as of yet, and of course 5 3-stars. Penn State or Oregon, Clemson right ahead of Florida State. So then you got Tennessee to round out the top 10. So those are the top 10 classes as of right now. This is nothing to be alarmed about, guys. A lot will change. I think a few days ago, the Florida Gators was sitting at number 11. As you guys can see, they're no longer even in the top 15. But we'll get down to that. So Florida State, since they're right there at number 9, we'll start with them. I think one of their biggest targets right now just took a trip out there to guess where? Boulder, Colorado. Now, Florida State and Boulder, Colorado seem to be having a lot of ties with each other lately. Deion Sanders, of course, Coach Prime, he's over there, and of course, he's going to bring some attention over there, especially from the Florida State fan base. They love and hate him at the same time. So Deion not only go to Colorado, he also brought another tremendous prospect with him in Travis Hunter. And then, we kind of got shammed a little bit, us Hurricanes last year with the Kamani McLean thing. And then boom, right now, Charles Lesnar, for one of Florida State's top prospects, one of their highest target on their board, has visited Colorado. Now photos are coming out, apparently the trip went well because, he's posting on social media. He's telling basically, I'm coming. Now, if you guys have been paying attention to Deion Sanders, then you know that one of his slogan this season, especially when it comes to recruiting, we coming. So Charleston Lester has posted on his social media all his pictures from, the trip, and basically said, I'm coming. Now, he's been posting a lot of stuff about Boulder, Colorado as of lately. So, we'll keep an eye out on that. A lot of Florida State fans are in panic because this is Deion, and this is what Deion has done. Deion Sanders, you have to put respect on that name. You have to put a lot of respect on Coach Prime. Not only has he proven to you that he could go into recruiting and get the top cornerbacks, he's done it twice in a row. And I won't see no difference this year. Now, top cornerback this year is already committed to the Georgia Bulldog, Elias Robinson. I'm thinking he could possibly make a trip out there to Boulder, Colorado, and maybe Deion could shake things up a little bit. Maybe he could land both Elias Robinson and Charles Lesnar. That's tough. That'll be a tough. I think that'll cement Deion Sanders in as probably the DB recruiter of the year or something like that. Going into the recruiting and just grabbing the number one when it comes to DBs. That'll do it for him. Normal guy, appreciate that. Also, I did see that myself. Colorado did get a 4-star defensive lineman. Yes, I forgot the guy's name, but I did see that they did get a commitment yesterday out of a defensive lineman. A lot of people were saying that, Deion Sanders can't recruit the trenches, and I think, that's a little premature. I'm a guy that likes to watch guys, all the way down to signing days and see what their class look like, see what their positional groups look like after signing day. So we'll see how that goes. But right now, as of now, Florida State is up in arms. But they are bragging a little bit. See, Florida State, they have a linebacker that's committed to Georgia. That has been taking several trips to Tallahassee. That's been on campus plenty of times. He is committed to the Georgia Bulldogs. As a matter of fact, his name is slipping me, but Georgia is the number one class, so I could just pull up the commits right now and we could see his name. We could see the player exactly who I'm talking about. But they do have a linebacker committed that keeps taking all these trips to Tallahassee. It's getting the Florida State fans a little bit riled up. They thinking that maybe they could pull off a flip. Now we already seen Florida State pull a flip on Georgia this recruiting cycle so far with the tight end. So we'll see how that runs. But yeah, this is the. I'm not seeing it. Where is he? Where is this linebacker? Do they have him listed something else? All right, well, we'll get back at it. But anyways, like I was saying, they're recruiting at Florida State at a high school level is not as high as you think it would be. Seeing that they just came off of a 10-win season, Mike Norvell, as of right now, recruiting wise, is having more success when it comes to the transfer portal. Going in there, getting guys that could, come in, plug and play guys. And it's been giving them a lot of hype going into this season. I think a lot of playoff ACC talk, but, it's yet to come. We'll see how far they goes. Okay, so he said the kid that's committed is a 25 kid. Yeah, I've been seeing them bragging about him a lot. So he's not even in this cycle. Appreciate that. Cool breeze. Appreciate that. 25 of you guys in here. Okay. So I might want to do some of these morning times, maybe, a lot more often, because it seems that I'm not the only one that be up this early in the morning. So appreciate y'all for joining this stream, man. Make sure you guys hit the like button. Let me do a quick roll call. So y'all get in the comment section. Let me know who all's in here with me this morning. Will, what's going on with you? What's going on with your boss? Normal guy in the building, what's good with you? He said, my brother is going to Florida State for a camp from Louisiana. Hey, shout out to Louisiana. Shout out to your brother, man. Hopefully he go out there, show up, and, get noticed, get the attention and stuff like that, blow up his recruitment and everything like that, Brandon, what's going on with you? Ain't nobody scared of Nine Toes Deion. I think if you're recruiting a DB, especially at corner, you should definitely worry about Deion. Whether you're Miami, Georgia, Florida State, Florida, Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, you name it. If you're going after a top cornerback, a top DB, you definitely have to worry about Deion. The proof is in the pudding. 2 years in a row. And if he does it this year too, whether he grabbed Charles Lessner or even Ellis Robinson, or maybe the top three guy, the third guy, you got to keep an eye on Deion. A lot of people don't like to put respect on Deion's name. I know he's fresh in coaching game. I know there's a lot of attention around him, a lot of controversy here and there, but you got to respect what he's done recruiting DBs. Jim Kelly, what's going on? Strange things going on in Gainesville. Sunbelt Billy in over his head with a question mark. I think it's too early to really say Billy's over his head, especially when it comes to recruiting. Recruiting is up and down, guys. 1 minute you're hot, next minute you're cold, and then a lot of kids goes to different places. They get offered different things, so it's never something that you could say, hey, we're solid here with this kid or we're solid here with that kid. It normally comes down to the end. I've been saying it and I'm going to continue to say it. Recruiting is a marathon. If you don't give a certain kid the amount of attention that they expect and another school does, you might lose them to them. So you got to stay on top of it. Now, fortunately for us Miami Hurricanes, we got a coaching staff that's dedicated to recruiting. That's all in. 365. We don't take days off. We don't, not even in the season. We ain't on our Dan Mullen over here. Recruiting is year round. We on our Kirby Smart, not our Dan Mullen. That's tough. Cool Breeze, what's good with you? Um, Sergeant AR in the building. What's going on with you? Sergeant AR 10 in the building. Says Georgia 15-0. Hey, keep that same energy. He's been keeping that same energy for about 2-3 years now. So hey, keep it up, my guy. Um, Appreciate that, Norma guy. Said get them likes up. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. It's 100% free. Also, subscribe to the channel. That's 100% free. It don't cost you a thing. It helps numbers. It helps, more people to come into the chat, more, conversation flowing, and you guys can talk amongst each other, and we have a grand old time up in here. So appreciate that. Curtis Williams, what's going on with you? Kirat, Kane 66. Hope I said that right. Hope it's not Kirat. Anyways, appreciate the comment. Zoe Mario wants to build a program via high school recruiting, and the resources are going that way. They don't want to depend on the portal. In both UGA, Bama, and Clemson, only 8 signed. Right. So Clemson is a prime example of not using the transfer portal. I think they've only signed 2 kids in the transfer portal over the past, 5-6 years or whatever. So that goes to show you they still win 10 games every year. They still have high recruiting classes, and they develop their guys. I think that's what Mario wants to do. He wants to come in here, recruit from the high school level, develop those guys, and keep that going, maintain that, high-ranking classes coming in, high-ranking guys, and develop them and show others high school coaches and recruits that, hey, if you come to Miami, not only will you get developed, not only will you get put in situations where you can make it to the league, but also we would put time and dedication towards getting you to where you need to be. Now, not guaranteeing anybody's going to make it to the NFL, because obviously that never happens, not even at the schools that's winning at the highest level. Sometimes you'll see a school like Georgia maybe put in like 14 guys in the league, but you also got to think about it. They got like 80 something people on the roster, and that's not every year you're going to put those numbers in. So it is what it is. But I think recruiting at the high school level is the winning factor. Now, the transfer portal, some guys will go in there and have some instant success, but we haven't seen anybody sustain that success over time. So still relevantly new, so we'll see how that goes. But as of right now, it's going on in Tallahassee. Mike Norvell is using that transfer portal pretty heavy. And, shout out to Mike Norvell, by the way, because with that he has been getting out of the portal, those guys have came to Florida State, and they had, flourish. You got to give them props. Jermaine Johnson, arguably, you could say Georgia put their hands on him, and he was already ready to go anyway. Jared Verse, they convinced him to come back. Jamie Robinson transferred from South Carolina a couple years ago. He's gone to the league now, got drafted. So, they have their little success here and there at the portal. And I won't be surprised they will too. They did get literally some of the top guys out of the transfer portal at key positions that they recruited. So, will it be sustainable in the future? Not quite sure. But also, got to keep in mind they are recruiting at the high school level just a tad bit, not too much, just a tad bit, a little bit better than over the recent years. But we'll see this season. This season will be a pivotal season for Florida State. I think if they could continue to win and go over, let's just say win 10 games again this year, then a lot of the kids, they love to see teams win. So they'll start believing in that school a lot more, and they might pick it up a little bit. So it's a wait and see kind of thing. Kyle in the building. Kyle, what's going on with you? He said, hit the nail. Yeah, hit the nail and hit the like button. Hit the nail and hit the like button. Appreciate that. Shane, what's going on with you? Let's go Canes all the way from Columbus, Ohio. Oh, man, Columbus, Ohio in the building. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. Let me know what part of the United States or even outside of the country you guys are tuning in from. Y'all can put that in the chat. Shout out to wherever you guys are from, whatever area code you guys are from, whatever city. Shout out to you guys. Brandon, T2Y, why should we be scared what DB he developed? Because Hunter damn sure ain't a DB on a level. He's a wide receiver, laugh out loud. Now, you got to give Deion time with the Travis Hunter. I understand Travis Hunter was hurt last year. We have seen him play some receiving, but you got to keep in mind he's a two position kind of deal. He's an athlete. He can play both sides. Now, he was hurt. You got to keep that in mind. Deion didn't get to put his touch on him or whatever. Pause. But if you paid attention to Coach Prime's TV series, which is on Prime Video, by the way, I've seen the whole series. I've actually watched the bonus episode actually yesterday. They finally, I finally got time to watch the last episode, the bonus one, out there at Colorado or whatever. But if you've been paying attention to the first season of it, you'll see that Travis Hunter was basically rehabbing the whole time. So Deion has not yet put his hands on him, to really see if he could develop him or anything like that. So you got to keep that in mind. You got to give it time. I know Florida State fans, I know you guys are hurt. I understand, emotional damage. I understand. But give Deion some time. And if not Travis Hunter, we'll see what he can do with Monty McClain. And and the nightmare for you Florida State fans, Charleston, or Charles Lesnar. I don't know why I like to call him Charleston. So keep in mind, give him some time. The same way you guys like to say, give Mike Norvell some time, give Deion some time. Give him some time. Keep that same energy. Travis played both receiver and cornerback. He's a talent. He'll be a top 10 draft pick. Absolutely. I believe it. Kid's a tremendous talent, man. Definitely a playmaker. You say Travis is going to get drafted as wide receiver. Yeah, I can see that happening too. Hunter too small and fragile to stand up to the pounding he is about to get from the Power 5 level. I don't believe that, Jim. I don't believe that. I think he'll be just fine playing Power 5. He was good enough. Y'all got to understand, this guy was the number one player in his recruiting class. He was good enough to play at any Power 5 school. Just because he chose to go to JSU does not change the fact that he's still talented enough to go to any Power 5 school and play. And on certain teams, he possibly could have started. So let's not get it mixed up. That kid could have played at any school, any Power 5 school would have taken him. It just happens that he went to JSU. Now he's going to Colorado. I don't think him playing at JSU first is going to change anything. I think now he's just going to step it up a little bit. That's just me. I could be wrong. I don't know the future. But I do believe that Travis Hunter, no matter what school he play at, Power 5 level, he will be great. He will be great. You say, I understand he played both, but did you watch that boy get destroyed by FCS receivers coming off of injuries? Yeah, I saw him get destroyed. So what? What? Name me a corner or a DB that has not got passes called on him. Name me one. Name me one receiver one corner that has never been burnt. Name me one. I'll wait. I will wait. Peanut in the building. Peanut Roll Tide. What's going on with you? Georgia's schedule come from Peter said Georgia's schedule come from Drug Mart. Save you the round. He said save you the runaround. If you look at Georgia's schedule, it's 100% easy. Cupcake, yes. Georgia should be favored to three-peat this year, without a doubt. Without a doubt. Georgia should be able to three-peat. Man, hey, shout out to Peanut for always coming in here rattling up everything. Peanut, man, you one of my favorites, Peanut. Oh man. Let me see. Miami will have the top 10 recruiting class again, regardless, once it's all said and done. Um, that's a that's a that's a crazy name, man. My boy named Doo. Doodoo said that Miami will have a top 10 class regardless. Doodoo, I absolutely agree with you. Absolutely. Miami will definitely finish with one of the top 10 classes in the country. If things go as planned, as projected, might be top five. Might be top five. Last year we finished with the top 7 class. This time it's full swing. I think we'll get more heavy pieces on the defensive side of the ball this time around, and that wide receiver. So we'll just keep an eye out on it. Marathon, baby. Hashtag marathon. Hashtag marathon. They say y'all got to stop falling for the hype. I saw that boy get destroyed multiple times, man. I'm telling you, Travis Hunter's gonna be great, man. I'm not gonna continue to beat that dead horse. You say coach is a loser. What coach is a loser, Peanut? Which coach is you talking about? What coach is a loser? Hopefully you're not talking about Kirby Smart, because Kirby Smart just won 2 national championships back to back. So I don't think you get to call Kirby Smart a loser again. Let me see here. Shane says, I hate Ohio State and go Canes. Yeah, I think a lot of people hate Ohio State. Definitely. Demetrius, what's going on with you? What's good, boss? Sarge says Champ was a 4-year starter at UGA, 175 pounds. Yeah, that's tough. He said Hunter on the sideline most of the time in 2000 due to injury. Nothing compared to what he will. Yeah, I believe that, man. I think once he gets started, once he start playing, once he stay healthy, I think you'll see a better, output from him. Polk County, Florida in the building. What's going on, Polk County? We got Atlanta in the building, the ATL. Shout out IMAX. Curtis in West Palm Beach in the building. I'm currently in West Palm Beach. Shout out to you, Curtis Williams. So IMAX is in Atlanta, but he's from Homestead. Okay, cool. Hunter is a playmaker. Just hope he has talent around him. Absolutely. I think Deion's going to have them good. In the beginning of this recruiting cycle, we saw the transfer portal for Colorado light up. Players was hitting that thing from left and right. Bing, 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 like a pinball. Just hitting that transfer portal. And then I think he lost at least 60 players in the transfer portal, if I'm not mistaken. And then, boom, he went in there. I think he pulled out like 48 of them, 49 of them, somewhere around there. So he did flush the roster. Pat Narduzzi had a lot to say about that, rubbing his nose in other people's business, being outspoken about it. Probably some other coaches had problems with it too, but they kept their mouth shut, mind their business, and continue to, do what they do at their program. But of course, the Pitt Panthers coach, he had to say something, and he's a very outspoken coach. He has the right to do so. He has the right to his opinion. And, who's going to stop him? But Deion also can reply to him and said, basically, I don't even know who that guy is, basically. If you put me in a room with Pat Narduzzi, now this is from Deion, if you put me in a room with Pat Narduzzi, I wouldn't even know who the guy is. So basically, in a nutshell, Deion Sanders is just basically saying, hey, Pat Narduzzi, shut the hell up forever. That's tough. Keep it moving. Peanut said, Alexander City, Alabama. Okay, Alabama in the building. Um, Athens, Georgia, home to the back-to-back national champs. Get ready for the three-peat. So Sarge is in Athens. He says Sarge. Travis Hunter is a beast no matter what. I agree. So the coach he was talking about is Deion Sanders. Nah, I think Deion's dude, man. BB in the building. What's going on with you, BB? Mo Better Canes in the house. Mo Better Can. Why do I add Canes to the man name? Mo Better 04. What's going on with you? Deion has been coaching at high school level and college level. You can't name one player that he has developed in over a decade of coaching. Hunter is a generational talent. Now, that is true to a certain degree, but you got to keep in mind we did just see the NFL draft go down, and we did just see one player from the HBCU got drafted, and that was a wide receiver from JSU. His name is slipping me right now, but last time I checked, Deion was at that school for at least 3 years. So I guess we could give him the credit for that. So not a lot, but hey, that one counts. HBCU didn't get no draft pick other than the one guy that came from JSU where Deion has been coaching. So I guess we could give him that much. Colorado is a clown show. Deion is going to have a rude awakening in the Power 5 this year. I think Deion will be just fine. You gotta keep in mind, guys. Colorado just went 1-11. The expectation aren't so high. If Deion were to win 3 games this season, 3 games in his first year, I think it's a success. 3 games sounds bad for a lot of teams that, has been putting in the work. But for a team that just got new head coach, new everything, everything, flush the whole program, flush out all the players. I think Deion coming in there after 1-11, if you win 3 to 4 games, it's a success. It's a success. So you got to keep that in mind. The expectations at Colorado isn't the same as the expectations in Georgia, in Miami, in Florida State, Florida, and all those places. If Deion could win 4 games at Colorado, that's a successful season. It sound absurd, sound bizarre, but that is a successful season. So let's pump our brakes on saying that he won't have any kind of success or anything like that, or a rude awakening when it comes to the Power 5 level, because he's going to get the talent there, and if he can prove winning 4 games coming from 1-11, if he could prove that he's on the up, a lot more kids are going to believe in it, and a lot more kids are going to go over to Colorado. And here's another reason why. Social media. Deion Sanders, he's a high-profile guy. Deion Sanders, there's cameras that follow Deion Sanders every single day. We all know this. We are in the social media era. All these kids love clout. They love clout. Deion Sanders come with a lot of clout. Deion Sanders come with national televised syndicated shows. He's on Prime Video. So obviously the camera's going to follow him. The attention's going to follow him. The social media, the Instagrams, the Twitters, the Facebooks of the world, they're going to follow him. And if you're around him and you're making plays, you're making shows, you're being featured, you're going to get some attention too. Plain and simple. Travis Hunter, for example, if you go to his YouTube channel, I think he has almost damn near 200,000 followers on YouTube. You can make a huge amount of money on YouTube with almost 200,000 followers, just posting videos, to be honest with you. So anywhere Deion is, NIL will follow, plain and simple. So he will get talent to come over to Colorado. Not only that, keep in mind, this is a Hall of Famer. This is a guy that pretty much could be said as, the best at his position, the best to ever play it. Arguably, y'all can debate that. I'm not, but it is what it is. Deion will get talent to Colorado. They will improve, and I do believe that. I do believe that. Where we at? Wow. So P, um, what we got going here? Said Peanut still need to pay Uncle Lou. That's tough. Peanut replies, Mo better Kane pay your rent. All right. Y'all can go back and forth with each other. That's tough. Where we at? Where we at? He said, shout out to Pitt Crybabies. Yeah, Pat Narduzzi, man, crying about what Deion doing. He probably should flush his old roster. But I mean, shout out to Pitt anyway, because Pitt has been having some success. They haven't gone over the top where their program possibly would want to be, but Pitt has been consistently winning at least around 8 games or so. So Ken says Apaka, Florida. Shout out to Apaka, Florida. We got Dallas. Dallas Daniels. Who's Dallas Daniels? I thought he was gonna say Dallas. He's from Dallas or something. Nah, I don't know who Dallas Daniels is. Oh, is that the guy that got drafted from JSU? I'm thinking that because I did ask that a little bit earlier, so maybe that's the guy's name. You said jury is out on Deion until 20. Yeah, give Deion some time. Give Deion some time. He hasn't even coached the game yet at Colorado, so give him some time. And he's doing pretty well so far recruiting and hitting that transfer portal, getting talent. I mean, obviously he went into Florida State and got 5 guys from them, so he definitely doing some recruiting, especially in that portal. We've had our storylines with Deion Sanders through Mark Pope, so controversial take on that. All right, so back to this rankings, man. So the Georgia Bulldogs, they're number 1. Okay, so we still off at Florida State. So obviously 11 commits so far. 7 of those commits are 4 stars, so they're getting some talent pretty early. Now, Florida State normally does this. Well, not quite last season, but they normally does this when they have some successful seasons or so. They'll jump out and get some recruits early, and then the class will they'll simmer down a little bit. So I definitely don't think they'll finish with a top 10 class. I don't think Florida State will finish with a top 10 class. That's my opinion. They could prove me wrong by going out and win some games and, showing some promise that, they'll be a contender in the future. And they could prove me wrong that way. But I don't see them finishing this season with a top 10 class when it's all said and done, when everyone else start getting their recruits to, commit. Clemson is sitting up there at number 8. Last season, basically for the ACC, Miami and Clemson basically went back and forth until the end to see who was going to have the best ACC class, and Miami ended up, coming out on top. So Clemson and Florida State is like right next to each other with 11 commits. Similar numbers, 1 5-star each, and 8 4-stars for Clemson, 2 3-stars, and Florida State got 7 4-stars and 3 3-stars. So that's your and of course Tennessee rounds out the top 10. So yesterday the Florida Gators, we saw that they got a decommit. Well, not even a decommit, a flip. Not only was it a flip, it was a flip of all kind of portion, man. So it's crazy when one of your top commits decommits from you and then commits to your rival. The rich get richer. Georgia Bulldogs flipped. Yes, they flipped Florida State's not Florida State, I'm sorry. They flipped the Florida Gators running back, Chancey Bowens. Chancey Bowens was one of those guys that was at Florida for a while. Then we seen Kirby land the helicopter. During the spring, we saw Kirby land the helicopter. We saw even Mario land the helicopter to go see the kid, check him out. So he's definitely a high prospect. He's definitely one of those guys that the Florida Gators cannot convince me that he wasn't a take, because obviously they let him commit. He committed and he flipped. Now, not only did he flip, he announced it, and he also said that his commitment is shut down 100%. So basically, his recruitment is shut down. So you let this guy visit your rival and then flip to him. So not only that, one of the running backs that you guys is going after pretty heavily committed to UCF. UCF has been a big thorn in Florida's foot lately. I keep telling guys, once UCF joined the Big 12, they got that Power 5 rankings now. They got that Power 5 to throw around. They're no longer a G5 school. They could throw that title around. We're a part of the Big 12. We're a Power 5 school. We can compete for championship now. Not only that, we're in Orlando, one of the greatest cities in the country, in the state of Florida. I think Orlando is a way better city than Gainesville. I don't think anybody would argue with me about that. So Stacy Gage committed, running back committed to UCF. So now Florida is definitely out here looking for running backs. Definitely. Now, to their credit, they do have two running backs that will probably start this year in ETN and Montreal, I think his name is. So I think they'll be fine this season, but the backups and the future is where, it's kind of going to get a little iffy. Not only at that position, but at quarterback. Right now they got Graham Mertz. I'm not sure what their confident level in him is. I think they probably should try to get another quarterback. But that's tough to say. They lost one of their quarterback to, pedo. I'm just going to say pedo because some pedophilia kind of thing, separated a little bit. So hopefully you two don't flag me for saying certain things. But they lost one of those. And then one of their other quarterback was committed. 4-star guy was committed. He also got, kicked off the team, kicked off his commitment basically for reciting the N-word in a song that he was singing along to in his car, whatever. So quarterback room is looking kind of hot. So then you have Derek Lagway, committed to the Gators. Arguably 5-star, arguably 4-star, depending on what metrics you look at. You could say he's a 5-star on this metric. You could say he's a 4-star on that metric. He's committed to Florida. Florida probably would need another quarterback, but who's going to want to come in and literally compete with a 5-star guy like DJ, Lagway? Not only that, DJ Lagway has said that basically he's not going to do any visits. He's going to shut down his recruitment, blah, blah, blah. But right now, there's rumors flying around that DJ Lagway could possibly think about taking a trip to where? Clemson. Now, if you've been paying attention to recruiting on Clemson's side, Clemson just picked up a couple top recruits. Brian Wasco, I think his name is, one of the top-rated receivers. So they're definitely going to get some top-rated guys. And I think, if DJ were to, say, flip from Florida and go to Clemson, I think he would be surrounded with talent. Running back position, they're pretty good there. Clemson always have, good offensive linemen. So right now, Florida is struggling in all those, areas. So I think if he were to flip to Clemson, it would be a surprise, but at the same time, I wouldn't be surprised, to be honest with you. But Florida has their own issues right now. Billy Napier I mean, I joke about it a lot. Seeing some of the photos and the videos that's coming from that city, coming from the recruits and everything like that. It's funny. It's funny looking at some of the things that they feed the kids and comparing them to other school. Mommy's out here feeding these kids lobster steaks and all that good stuff, and then you see Florida plates and it's all scraps. You know, with it, you ever go to the pool or go to the beach, you get in the water for too long, and then you look at your hands and it's all shriveled up and looking all funny and shit. That's pretty much how them chicken wings be looking on them plates, man. That's tough. But yeah, Miami and Florida don't play each other. But it's always a Twitter war. The Twitter war between the two is amazing. And I'm one of the culprits. I push the narrative. I push the bull crap on Twitter alongside, everybody else. But when you see Miami has kids coming in, visiting the school, putting them in hotels. We're putting them in the Ritz-Carlton. A lot of you guys know the Ritz-Carlton is a very high priced hotel. Me personally, if I had the kind of money to waste, I would book the Ritz-Carlton, to show off, take some photos, and you know, stunt a little bit, kind of thing, if that's the way you want to go. But Miami, that's what Miami is doing. Now, when you look at the hotels that, Dylan Napier and Mike Norvell is putting these kids in, it's pretty much hotel, motel, Holiday Inn, Super 8s, Motel 6. We'll leave the light on for you. Check yourself before you leave. You might take home some bed bugs. Them the kind of hotel they got. Small little section, kind of like they preparing you to go to prison, kind of thing. Small rooms. You get to put a stand with a light on it in there every now and then. Those kind of rooms. That's the ones that that's the hotels that they putting them kids in. That's tough, but when you got a city like Miami where everything is high, luxurious, and all that kind of thing, hey, we're gonna stand out. We're gonna stand out. I see Brandon. Matthew Walker's in the building. T2Y trash talk gets worse every year. No, T2Y trash talk don't get worse every year. T2Y trash talk is not meant to make you want to get angry, make you want to fight me. No, my trash talking is innocent. My trash talking sticks to the sports. It's plain and simple. I'm a very calculated trash talker. I like to think about all my trash before I say it, and I do necessarily, put the proper thoughts into my trash talk. So it's innocent. My trash talk is the kind of trash talk that where if I were to show up in Gainesville right now, you wouldn't necessarily want to fight me, but you probably wouldn't like me, but you necessarily wouldn't want to fight me. You probably still would, say, I kind of like this guy. That's how my trash talking works. Same for Tallahassee. I trash talk them all day, but it's nothing to make you want to fight me kind of trash talk. So if that gets worse every year, then that's tough. That's tough. But yeah, back to what I was saying. Kind of threw me off a little bit. So obviously, Florida, they're having their issues. We see Billy Napier out there. He's coming. One day he's driving a Maybach. The next minute he's driving a G-Wagon. But he got the kids, taking their photos and slingshots. Now, a lot of people have been throwing jokes around and saying basically after this season goes up in flames, when he basically win 4 games this season, because a lot of people are predicting Florida to win like 4 games this year. A lot of people. Listen, even the experts over there in Vegas, they got Florida over and under at 5.5. So that's basically saying they can win 5 or more games. That's what they're leaving the betting line at. So it's not like guys like me who trash talk Florida all the time is just coming on here talking out all kind of trash and just talking just to be talking. The experts are saying this too. The guys that are actually putting the money on the line are saying this too. So If Florida could win 5 or more games this season, it would be considered a success. But for Florida fans and their expectation, it would not. It would absolutely not. It would be devastating, and they probably would be calling to Willie Tagger, Sunbelt Billy, Billy Napier. So it's going to be interesting. Now, Florida, I must say this for Florida, recruiting wise for Florida, here's where I throw a little compliment to them. Normally don't really do it, but I do believe that Florida will finish with a top 10 class. Top 10 class. If not top 10, right outside of it, around the 11, 12, through the top 15 area. So I do believe Florida will have a top 10 class. I know, deep down inside, I know this for a fact that Miami will finish with a better class, a higher ranked class than both Florida and Florida State. That's not up for debate. Y'all could argue with your wife, argue with your auntie, argue with your kids, argue with your in-laws. Hell, go outside and argue with the door that you're about to put your key in. But I'm not debating with nobody that Miami will have a better class than both Florida and Florida State. We will. Ain't nothing to talk about. Plain and simple. Now, where we at? Big guy, I do enjoy your show. Appreciate that, boss. Appreciate that. Your trash talking has no humor or substance. At least Uncle Lou bring both. Well, watch Uncle Lou. There you go. My trash talk is based on facts, though. My trash talk is never based off nothing. It does have substance. I don't just come talk trash about Florida or the Florida State Seminoles for no reason. I have to have some kind of material. And where do I get this material? From you guys. You guys do something stupid every day. Oh, Matthew Walker, you're a Florida Gator fan, right? Here comes some of my material to trash talk you guys. So the day before yesterday, I saw a video of Caleb Odom, one of the top tight ends in the country. He visited the University of Florida. Now, what does these dummies do? Easy. He got on all the Florida gear, all the way down to the cleats. Keyword in this, cleats. Now, they have him stand in front of a white background. And then they tell the kid, not only is he wearing cleats, he's standing on glass. Now, if you've played football, you know that cleats and solid ground does not mix. You got to walk light. Or you're going to fall and bust your butt. You probably could tear something, maybe your groins or something. But you know what these idiots at Florida did? These idiots at Florida told this kid to jump. Do the jump, man. Florida is sponsored by Jordans, right? Their jerseys and everything is made by Jordans. So what does these idiots do? They give a kid some cleats, they put him on top of glass, and they tell him to jump. Now, when he jumps up in the air, cameraman takes a picture. It looked like he's doing the jump man. Great photo op, right? But not the ending that Florida was expecting, because they're not that smart. So now the kid jumps up in the air, and guess where he lands? On his ass and wrist. He had a bait. You know how you try to stop yourself from falling too hard or whatever? The kid bust his ass. Yes. Plain and simple. Fell and bust his ass. Now, get up and plays it off and everything like that. But you know what I find funny, Florida fans? Y'all like to poke and pick at John Ruiz. Oh, life wallet is broke. Ruiz ain't saying nothing. He ain't putting in no NIL. But then, I find it funny that if I was that kid, I probably would reach out to John Ruiz. You know what? He's a lawyer. He probably could help me sue the brakes off y'all for making me bust my ass and embarrass myself in front of the whole country. Yes, absolutely. Now, here's something, baby lizards. Caleb Odom, after all that is said and done, he posted the photo, the finished photo of him doing the jump man. You know what I did? I went into the comment section and I posted 2 photos I posted a photo when he landed, and I posted a photo when he tried to catch himself when he fall. And I posted underneath that photo of him doing the jump man. I cannot unsee this. I cannot unsee this. The end product of that jump man photo was great, but we saw the video and we saw what actually happened. So at the end of the day, y'all embarrassed the kid in front of the whole country. Now, when I say that, you go on Twitter, this video of him busting his ass at Florida has been shared over millions of times. It's been, I'm not shared, viewed over millions of times. It's been passed around Twitter the whole weekend. Everybody knows Caleb Odom for busting his ass at Florida. That's tough. Thank you, Matthew Walker, for waking up the beast this morning. I was trying to, keep this a nice, calm show, not do any outbursts or anything like that. But thank you. You're welcome. I'm pretty sure you was very entertained. Anyways, it says, big guy, nothing the lizards do surprise me. Yeah, they really don't. So at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. Now, Miami, let's talk about Miami. Because, we could stroll down a little bit. So after the decommit for the Florida Gators, the running back going on over to Georgia, you got Florida dropping down out of the top 10, out of the top 15, out of the top 20. They're sitting at number 22. And I find this very funny. Because about a week ago, shout out to Bobby Smurda, Florida fans was talking about their recruiting class and how much better and how far ahead they are in Miami. Oh, look at Miami down there at number 28. Look at Miami. They can't recruit nobody but 3-star. 3-star you. Now look at you. Now let's do some comparisons. Let me show you the difference between us and y'all. Look, y'all average players is at 94. 94.29. That means you're getting some good quality players. You got 5 4-star, 1 5-star, and 1 3-star. Looks great on paper, don't it? Sounds great too. But then when you look at Miami sitting at 24, 2 notches below you, 2 notches with 10 commits, 9 of them are considered 3-stars, 1 4-star, 9 3-star, 1 4-star. But yet, look where we are right behind you. You know what that tells you, Florida? We might have 9 3-stars, but they're highly rated 3-stars. These are 3-stars that's on the edge of being 4-stars. You know what that tells me about your 4-stars? It don't mean nothing. Plain and simple. It don't mean nothing. We could get another 3-star and pass you guys on the rankings. That's tough. Oh my God. You gotta love it. That's why I try not to brag about recruiting in June and July in those areas. I try to wait till National Signing Day. Of course, when we get commits, I drop them and I say, bam. I say, bam, look, we got this guy, excited to get this guy, whether he's a 3-star, 4-star, 5-star, or whatever. If you committed to the University of Miami, the coaches saw something in you. Maybe, the evaluators didn't. Maybe you fit certain things that they're going to do. So it is what it is. I try to give all these guys their roses when they commit to the University of Miami, even if they're walk-ons. Some of y'all come on here and you say, oh, man, another 3-star, another 4-star. Yeah, those guys sometimes, they don't pan out. Sometimes they do. But at the end of the day, you chose my university. I'm going to root for you. I don't have a say-so in the matter anyway. So why not celebrate instead of being sad and moping and crying and, all that other stuff. The B word with I and G at the end. Anyways, Campbell, what's going on? DJ is the only player holding that class together in the rankings. Absolutely. If Florida were to lose DJ right now, they would burn the city down. They would literally want to fire Billy Napier right now. Shout out to Brandon Walker. He said it. He said what everybody was thinking. if DJ Lagway were to, let's say, flip to Clemson, Florida would literally, their fan base would literally try to run Billy Napier up out of town. Probably run him right back to Louisiana. Shout out them Raging Cajuns. Oh man, Mo Better Canes. How many wins will Miami have this year? Florida State will be in the running to win the ACC. FSU versus Clemson. That's the narrative right now. That's the narrative. Florida State versus Clemson. Now they do play each other week 4, I think. So I think that'll set the tone to see where these teams are. Also, if Florida State come out and they lose to LSU and they lose to Clemson within them first 4 games, I'm not sure how that team, meet adversity. So we'll see. But if they lose those first 2 games to Clemson and LSU, which to be honest with you, I absolutely think they will. We'll see how it goes. Can Florida State, hold it together to finish off strong, probably win 10 games? That's their expectation. They got them winning 10 games this year. Vegas is putting them at 10 and a half, I think. So we'll see how that goes. But that could possibly happen. Florida State versus Clemson for the ACC championship, it could possibly happen. Clemson is not expected to lose many games on their schedule either. And as you guys know, the divisions are gone. It's the 2 top teams with the 2 top records that'll play each other. And right now it's projected to be Clemson and Florida State. So we'll see. But that could definitely happen. Now, as far as Miami goes, wins-wise, look at Miami's schedule. Just a few games on there. Let's say the first 5 games, all of those are winnable. The most challenging one of those 5 will be Texas A&M. So if Miami could beat Texas A&M, we could literally start the season off 5-0, and then the rest of the games, some of them will be a lot more tough than others, and some of them could go either way. But right now, I just want to see those first 5 games, and I really want to put the measuring tool out there when it comes to Texas A&M. That's going to be the game where I measure where we at. How far have we became, from last season, 5-7, losing games, getting dominated by teams, and put teams throwing up 45 points on us and stuff like that. So I want to see how far along the defense came, how far along the offense came. I know the offensive line has, improved a lot. I want to see where we're going to go on the defensive side this year. Tariq Stevenson is gone. DJ Ivy is gone. Who's going to, fill in those cornerback roles? That's basically where I'm at right now. Also, we did just get Demetrius Freeney, which they telling him that he could come in and make an impact right away. He was the second number 2 JUCO cornerback out of the country. So we'll see how he fits in, because the coaching staff did tell him he could come in and make an impact right away. So right now it's a wait and see for Miami. So wins-wise for Miami, I say the first 5 games, let's say we beat Texas in them first 5 games, I think we could win those. And then the rest of them will be pretty much, we'll see how it goes. But if we could go out there and win those 5 games, I think Miami will be bowl eligible. Probably around the 8 wins would probably be where I want to put my prediction. But we'll see. Now, obviously, if we get rolling and we winning and we dominating, and we look like a total opposite team from last year, smoke is out. The smoke is up. You can't tell me nothing. Yeah, man. But that's just me. He said Gator Nation will sell their soul to bring Urban Liar back. Urban Liar. Man, that's tough. Shout out to Urban Myers, man. Live your life, Urban. You won 3 national championships? 2 with Florida, 1 with Ohio State. You'll be considered a great coach. Character-wise, maybe a little bit questionable, but it is what it is, man. Let Urban Myers live. Some people live like this every day. They just don't have the national eyes on them. So let Urban live, man. Let guys like Urban Meyer live. Let Ed Orgeron live. Let those guys live. They doing what most guys want to do, but obviously they just got caught. Plain and simple. Just let them boys live. You say you got 10 commits, fool. I'm shaking my head. Listen, we got 10 commits. That's great. We're not going to stop at 10 commits, though. When the 5 stars and the 4 stars start coming in, keep that same energy. Keep that same energy. I want you guys to understand something. When you look at the recruiting class from last season, I want you guys to understand. Miami got 9. As of right now, they got 9 3-stars. Let me take you back to last season when we finished with the top 7 class. Let me take you back to the 23 class. I want you guys to notice something. Miami finished with 26 commits, right? Here we got 9 so far, 3-stars. We had 7 last year. We just got 2 more than last season. 2 more. So keep that in mind. Now, Gators finished at 14. They had 18 4-stars and 2 3-stars. Keep that in mind. We finished with a better class than y'all. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. While you're talking about the 3-star stuff and you got 10 commits and how many commits we got, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. If we had 9 like you, we would be like 7. So are you in here like proving me right? Because that's what you just did. You're really proving me right now. Basically, we got 9. We got 9 3-stars, and we're 2 ranks right behind you. Oh my God. I'm telling you, man, I don't like doing this in the middle of June, July, August, none of that. But y'all fans, y'all love to brag about, oh, y'all got all these 3-stars, y'all this and y'all that. But when you look at the rankings, your 4-stars might not mean nothing then. Your 4-star, let's take a look at your 7 commits, Florida. Let's take a look at them. You got DJ Lagway, 5-star quarterback, number 1 guy in y'all class. Then you got a 4-star here in a safety, 97. Then you got another 4-star, 97. You got another 4-star, 97. So, and then your next 4-star, he drops. Your next couple 4-stars, they drop down to 90 and 89. And then you got 1 3-star that's an 88. Here's what you need to look at. Your 4-star. This guy's considered a 4-star, right? He's at an 89, almost a 90. This guy here, he's considered a 3-star. He's at 88. It's not too far off from being a 4-star. If this guy goes out and perform pretty well, he could get bumped up to a 4-star. He could get bumped up to a 4-star. You see what I did there, Florida? The 1 3-star guy that you guys have that's sitting at an 88. If you look at the guy that's a 4-star right above him, he's at an 89. So obviously, if this guy at 3-star Davis, the safety out of Georgia, if he goes out and perform this season, he could be bumped up to a 4-star. All right, cool. Now let's look at all these 3-stars that's committed to Miami. Let's look at all of them because there's 9 of them. Now, obviously, Chance Robinson, he's the only 4-star that's committed. Now, Cameron Pewitt just committed to Miami. Basically, on some metrics, he's a 4-star, but on the composite, he's a 3. He's at an 88, just like your 3-star. Your 3-star is at an 88. So this guy could get bumped up this season. I think obviously he will. Perform well, he'll be a 4-star. So all this 3-star talk in June is not going to make no sense once they play games and these guys get bumped up. So those 9 3-stars that we got, look at them. 88 right here. He could get bumped up. 87, 87. Those two could get bumped up. So you got four guys right here in front of you that could turn into 4 stars. So let's just say those four guys does go outperform, they does turn into 4 stars. Miami goes from having 9 to only 5 3 stars. You see, let the math. Don't do it in June. Don't come in here in June telling me how many 3 stars we got when games haven't been played. These kids are in high school. They will play more games. They will get evaluated. They will bump up. Now, some of them might not. Some of them might not. And that's cool too. That's cool too. We're good where we're at because we got talent evaluators on our coaching staff. So we're good. We're good. Now, guys that I don't think will get bumped up, the kicker, of course, he's at an 8. Ain't nobody gonna bump kickers up like that. The kickers recruiting stars don't really matter to me, to be honest with you. Daylon, he could get bumped up points wise, but it probably won't matter. He'll probably still end up a 3-star. Judd, he'll probably still end up a 3-star. Juan here is potential, but he'll probably still end up a 3-star. But the guys, the top 4 guys that we have that are 3-star that could get bumped up are right there in front of you. Isaiah Thomas, Dylan Day, Chris Humphrey, and Vince Shaver. Those guys could be bumped up to 4-stars. So at the end of the day, it's June. It's June. Recruiting is a marathon. That's the theme. That's what I'm sticking to. Some of y'all would be smart to actually start getting up there and thinking the same way. But hey, you got a mind of your own. Yeah. You say you got 3 more commits than us. That's cool. Remember last year when I was telling you guys that when you had all them commits more than we did, and then we end up getting more commits than you guys, and we end up finishing better than you guys? It's a marathon, my guy. Eventually, y'all will get y'all commitments. It's funny because Florida just got a commitment from a JUCO kid yesterday. I forgot the guy's name. Actually, I didn't save it in my phone. I was gonna make a video, but then I was like, don't make no sense to make no video for no Florida JUCO. Florida JUCO. It didn't make no sense to make a video for you guys with this JUCO kid that y'all got. But I do have his information stored just in case I would have made a video for you guys. Quincy Ivory. Now, he did commit to Florida. First and foremost, I want to thank God for putting me in a position to play at the next level. Again, I want to thank my family and also always supporting me no matter the circumstances. I want to give a special shout out to my brother and coaches at ELAC for holding me at a high standard and continue to push me every day. There is so many more people I wish I had the time to thank, but the real ones know who they are. Never in a million years would I have guessed this was my journey. My story is untold, unheard, but still being written. I want to thank Coach Napier, Armstrong, Peterson, Joe, and Jacob for showing me why Gainesville, Florida is where I need to be. With that being said, Gator Country, let's make history. That was what was written by the JUCO kid that committed to Florida. JUCO kid, Quincy Ivory. So they got a commitment yesterday. They got a decommitment flip to Georgia from their top 4-star running back, and then they got a JUCO kid that committed to him. So didn't really think I should make a video for you guys when Miami had all this good stuff happening, all this great news happening yesterday. That's tough. But yeah, man, like I said, keep in mind some of those 3 guys will be turned to 4-star guys. As long as they have a good season, we'll be fine. Dude didn't even brush his teeth this morning and jumped on the net talking about Florida State and Florida with Miami straight garbage juice. Okay, keep that same energy. Simply AK G2. And by the way, I did brush my teeth. Colgate, motherfucker. It's called Colgate. And my toothbrush. I got a toothbrush. I got the mechanical toothbrush, the one that you press the button and it goes, and you brush your teeth in. Yeah, motherfucker. Let me stop. Let me stop. If Miami lose to FSU again in 2023, the grumbling will get loud and more Mario Cristobal. Y'all like to make up these special names. Okay, cool. We'll feel his seat get warm. Miami ain't losing to none of them teams. If they lose to Florida State this year, nobody will hold it against Miami if they lose to Florida State this year. I'm going to tell you that. Nobody will hold it against Miami if they lose to Florida State this year. Florida State right now is considered a hot commodity. Everybody's predicting them to win the ACC. They're talking playoffs and this and that and the third. They just came off with 10 wins. Miami just came from a 5-7. So if Miami were plus all the talent that Florida State got coming back, plus all the talent that they picked up in the transfer portal, if Miami was to lose to Florida State this year, nobody would hold that against Cristobal. If he makes the game competitive, basically. If we show fight, but we still lose, nobody would literally be mad at Mario for losing to Florida State. Let's keep it a buck. We don't want to lose to Florida State, though. Plain and simple. T2Y, if y'all lose to Miami, Ohio, should Mario be fired? No, we can't afford to fire Mario 2 years in. 2 years in, you got to keep in mind, he's revamping this whole team. He didn't do what Deion did. Mario didn't come in here and flush out everybody like Deion did. Mario tried to work with what we got. Not only that, he had offensive coordinator that didn't fit and everything like that. Now we got two different coordinators this year. We got an offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So losing to Miami of Ohio would be horrible. It would be devastating. You guys, that's Florida State fans, that's Florida fans, you guys would have trolling material on us for the next decade if we were to lose to Miami of Ohio. The real Miami would be the theme of all your trolling. Oh, they lost to the real Miami. That's what you guys would say. You're pretty predictable, be honest with you. And if I was a Florida State fan or if I was a Gator fan, I would say the same thing. I would use that material. I wouldn't let Miami down if they lose to Miami of Ohio. Listen, if we lose to Miami of Ohio and you guys come trolling, I would understand. I would take it on the chin. I'll take it on the chin like a man. It is what it is. But I doubt Miami lose to Miami of Ohio. I doubt that. If we do, I will not be hiding. I'll be right here. I will take all of the stones that you guys will throw, plain and simple. So, Mario Cristobal, please don't lose the goddamn Miami of Ohio. I don't want to deal with these. I don't want to deal with these trolls and clowns all year. Plain and simple. He said Mario is year 2 of 10-year contract, so nothing is going to happen. Matthew Walker said something smart. Oh my God. Matthew Walker, you said something smart. Man, Matthew Walker, I really don't have nothing to no clip to play for you that would say that you say something smart, but I mean, I do got an insult for you though. Here you go.
And J.M. Griffin. Dominant touchdown run.
Chomp, motherfucker. Chomp. Oh, man. Imagine calling a timeout with like 50-something seconds just not to score, just to make sure you scored 3 points. Down by 30. Oh, man. That's tough. FSU only going to get better. We'll see. The verdict's not out on FSU. They got a huge season ahead of them. If Mike Norvell could keep pushing forward, I think FSU will be in a good place in college football. No reason why the teams from Florida shouldn't dominate recruiting, big guy. Yeah. If Miami, Florida, and Florida State could actually, pick it up. Recruiting in Florida alone would go a long way. If you look at the NFL draft and the talent in the states that they're coming from, it's the state of Florida that wins out every year. We are the top bed for NFL players. So if Miami could get their share, Florida State could get their share, and Florida could get their share, and not only just recruit the state of Florida, but go to the top states that are producing, the NFL players, the top rated guys, the Georgias, the LSU, the Louisiana, California, Texas, those areas. If we could go out there and recruit those guys in those areas, those top football states, then all three teams could be good. But obviously, every year, Florida State play both Miami and the Gators. So if all three teams are clicking, we're gonna have some good games. But eventually, one of them gonna clip each other. One of them is gonna clip each other because you got to play each other, plain and simple. But I believe that statement to be true. Recruiting wise, if we lock down the state, and Miami can't do it by themselves, Florida State or the Gators can't do it by themselves. All three has got to do it. And not to mention, UCF is a Power 5 team now. They will be a more attractive destination. So UCF will get talent. You will start to see UCF, and as much as I don't want to say it, you will start seeing that UCF will start battling Miami. They will start battling Florida State. They will start battling the Gators for some top recruits. Might not be right now at this moment. Well, actually, it's already here. They just beat Florida out for a 4-star running back. So at the end of the day, UCF will be thrown in the mix pretty soon. So you will have 4 teams, not just 3. You'll have 4 teams in the state of Florida that will be fighting for top guys in the state of Florida. So I do believe that more kids will stay in the state of Florida, if not Miami, Florida State, and the Gators, UCF. So keep that in mind moving forward. I think UCF moving to the Big 12 was a power move for them. Not only will they get paid more, UCF will be getting paid more money than Florida State and Miami. Florida State and Miami. UCF will be getting paid more money than them. So they will be able to start doing more for that team than most teams in the state of Florida that's not, Power 5. For example, UCF is going to run laps around USF now. Plain and simple. They'll be getting all that TV deal money. They could upgrade their facilities. They could upgrade, whatever they want to do. They could have more budget for, let's say, recruiting. UCF is going to be a problem in about, I want to say 2 years. I'm going to give them 2 years. They're going to be a huge problem. They're already a problem for Florida right now. But I give them about 2 years to where they're going to be a problem for all 3 teams, Florida, Florida State, and Miami. So keep that in mind. How do you feel about Kevin Steele? These Bama fans think he was a great hire. They say Miami didn't have players to run his defensive scheme. I agree with that statement. We did not have the personnel to run that scheme. We did not have the linebackers that we needed. We got guys at the level of Corey Flagg starting at the University of Miami. So I can agree with that. Now, could Kevin Steele have done a tad bit better job with the talent that he had? Yes. But you got to keep in mind, we just went from a soft coaching staff, staff that let the kids pretty much do whatever they want, celebrate when we getting beat by 21 and stuff like that. It's a culture shock for most of them. And as you can see, most of them hit the portal. They got up out of here because Mario came down here wielding a big stick, pulling out the sword and letting them know, hey, this is Sparta. This is Sparta. We ain't playing no more. We're not playing with you. They hit the portal. They got up out of here. Now we're building this team with nothing but tough guys. And we're building this team with nothing but honesty. We're telling them straight up. Our coaching staff is not lying to these kids that we're recruiting. They're telling them the honest to God truth. So you got to be a certain type of player to buy into Miami now. And we see the top talent they're buying in. So Kevin Steele inherited some soft players. At Bama has a culture. Bama has a culture. Regardless of what you see in the past year, they have a culture. They're not getting blown out. The losses that they have lost is not blowouts. Their players are not quitting. They might, had a little setback, but they're not quitting. Their players are being developed. So Kevin Steele will go into Alabama where the talent's already there. All he has to do is coach. And recruiting-wise, he don't have to do too much because Bama recruit pretty well. So it's a better fit for him than it would be at Miami. When Kevin Steele came to Miami, it was ground zero. He goes to Alabama, they're at level 5 already. So it is what it is, man. I think Kevin Steele at Alabama, he'll do pretty well. As long as those players learn the scheme and, apply it pretty early. I think Kevin Steele will look great at Alabama. I think if Alabama fans think it's a great hire, they might actually – I might have to say Alabama fans are pretty smart. I don't normally ever say that. No, you have 10 commits. 9's a 3-star. We only have 7. Oh, we already went through that. Star doesn't matter. It's about development, and none of those Florida schools have been good at developing talent. That's why they come to Georgia. Go Dogs. That statement is somewhat true. Over the past couple of years, there hasn't been that great of a development in the state of Florida, to be honest with you. If you look at the NFL draft, half of those guys that are coming out aren't coming from Miami, Florida State, or even Florida at that. So it is what it is. Recruiting and development has been down. I think that's about to change. Now, I don't know what Florida's going to do. I don't know what Florida State's going to do. Florida State's going to put players in the league, but I don't necessarily want to give them the credit for development because most of the guys that they are putting in the league now are transfer portal guys. Jermaine Johnson. What's the guy name? What's the guy? The safety that just got drafted for them. Those guys are basically, developed at other schools and they come into Florida State. So for the past couple of years, they really haven't been putting any, top talent in the league. Miami haven't really done much either, but we have put some guys in there, but it hasn't been much either. Florida has a little bit more guys, but they don't pan out, that kind of thing. So it is what it is. Florida's going down a little bit. I think this year they won't have much talent to go into the draft. Most of their top talent, especially on the offensive line, has transferred out. Most of their guys are transfers. So, yeah, those 3 teams, definitely got to develop a little bit more. I give Georgia his props. They've been winning games. They've won championships. And during that process, they have put a lot of players in the league. So, no diss to Georgia at this moment. You guys are on top right now. Slip and fall, though. Slip and fall, and I will get on y'all there. But you know what? Before we leave off Georgia's biggest issue is not college football. It's the state penitentiary. That's all right. Keep it moving. Starting to hear whispers that DJ Lagway is going to visit Clemson. Don't worry, Gator fans. You don't have anything to worry about. Yeah, DJ, go be the second DJ to go to Clemson. Hopefully you panned out though. Hopefully you panned out. The other DJ just went over to Oregon State. I actually want him to do good this year. I actually want him to shine at Oregon State. I want him to make Dabo Swinney look like a fool for, future purposes. Where we at? Doesn't matter if You get 4 or 5 stars if they don't hold on to them. Right. Signing day. Sign that letter of intent. Don't ask to get out of that letter of intent. I mean, Jaden Rashad is signed with Florida. He's not at Florida, is he? Nope. I don't think so. So until they enroll and all that good stuff, we'll see. Miami is going to lose to Miami, Ohio. You don't believe that. You don't even believe that. You just came in here and just wasted your time. Type. You don't believe that. If you believe Miami is going to lose to Miami of Ohio, I'm going to bet you $100 right now. Take that bet if you believe it. Take that bet if you believe it. I got $100 that says Miami beat Miami of Ohio. If you believe that, take this bet right now. Take this bet. Put your money where your mouth is. And another idiot comment. Miami don't have recruits. Miami don't have recruits. I knew somebody was going to come in here and say something stupid.
Stop it. Get some help.
Miami don't have no recruit. We just signed top classes the past 2 seasons. But Miami... Sometimes the jokes write themselves. Sometimes the joke write themselves. Recruits can get bumped up, but they can also get bumped down, big guy. You're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right. I have the faith that my guys will get bumped up. And if they don't, we're still in good position. We still got high quality 3 stars. If some of them don't get bumped up, that's cool. I do believe at least those 4 guys that we have, that's the highly rated ones, I believe they can get bumped up. Now, if let's say 2 out of the 4 or 3 out of the 4 get bumped up, I'll take it. I'll take it. If they don't bump up, I'll still take it. I know what we have. I trust my coaching staff evaluation more than I trust 247, 0-3, Rivals, and ESPN. Some of those sites don't even have ratings for half of these kids until they get a commit somewhere or until they start getting offers from schools. Then they say, why are these schools offering this kid? Let's go check them out. And then they give them a rating. So some of these kids fly under the radar, and then they come in and, okay, let's throw him a 3-star and we'll keep seeing, what he does. Half of those kids don't go to camp. So when you see a school go after a guy that's not even ranked, or have 0 stars, and all of a sudden you see a Florida State goes and sign one of them, or you see a Florida, Miami, or even in Alabama or any of those schools go out and sign a kid, all of a sudden you say, why did they sign this kid? Nobody paid this kid no attention. But then you go and you see the highlights and you say, damn, this kid is really good. But then you say, damn, why didn't nobody, put out anything about him? Oh, he didn't go to their camps. Those camps are paid for. Some of those kids don't have the resource or the time to even get to some of them camps. So you got to keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Not saying that that's the scenario all the time, but keep that in mind. It's funny y'all only ones hearing DJ might visit another school. Actually, Mr. Gator Man, you know where I got that information from? I got that information that DJ could be visiting another school or even visiting Clemson. I actually got that from a Gator. That's pretty invested in Gators recruiting. He's actually put it out there for the world to see. I'm just the guy that took advantage of it and put it out there for the rest of the world to see. So that information is coming from the Florida Gators camp. So keep that in mind. Y'all want our quarterback, whoever posted on social media about recruiting people to UF, but I swear he's going to flip. Yeah, basically, you guys put it out there, not us. You guys, you need to check your fan base. Check your fan base. Y'all put it out there, not me. Look at sugar canes and lizards going at it. Yeah, we got a Florida State fan. He just enjoying himself in the chat. Hey, shout out to you, DJ Ferg, man. Enjoy yourself. This is what it's supposed to be honest with you. When you have the 3 biggest rivals in the state in the same chat, This is how it's supposed to be. You come in here, you pick a fight with one of the fan base, and you watch everybody go at it. You laugh a little bit, and then they say something that might trigger you. Then you start typing. That's how it's supposed to be. Or I might say something about Florida State that you just can't bite your tongue. You got to type something. So basically, this dude keep up with FSU, Florida, more than his own team. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I keep up with Miami because I love Miami. I love everything about Miami. I love every single sports in Miami. So obviously, I'm a Miami Hurricane fan. It's tatted on me. I can't get rid of it. Whatever. It's tatted on me. I can't get rid of it. I love the Canes. That's forever. I just know that covering both teams and creating an atmosphere where all three rivals can, come together, it's kind of my purpose, being that I troll a lot. So it fits me to cover all three teams. But if you notice, when I cover Florida State and I cover the Gators, I always take jabs and shots at y'all. I can't help it. So at the end of the day, it works out. It works out for me. I enjoy myself on this channel, man. I enjoy myself. because Miami can't even make a bowl game. Okay, cool. Miami didn't make a bowl game. You're absolutely right about that. But Miami also didn't get beaten in a bowl game 30-3. 30-3. 55 seconds left. Billy Napier calls a timeout. He kicks the field goal. It's good. The Florida Gators lose 30-3. You gotta love it. At least you didn't score 0, dating back to what, 1989, 89? One of the last time you guys got shut out? 1989. Okay. At least he got you guys not to go crazy about not scoring a point in the bowl. At least he scored 3 with 55 seconds left in the fourth quarter after being dominated. You gotta love it. You gotta love it. DS1 says, as long as y'all don't lay down in the Florida State game, y'all good. Absolutely. Last year game against Florida State was absolutely terrible. It was humiliating, 52-10. They beat us 45-3. They came back and got their lick back. We beat them by 42. They came down there and beat us by 42. That's tough. But hey, it is what it is. Florida State did what they were supposed to do. Miami didn't do what they were supposed to do. Canes are loaded. Y'all keep sleeping thinking about last year. They had a number 7 ranking class, a top 15 transfer portal class, real OC, real DC, healthy line and healthy TVD, 5 deep at running back and wide receiver. Absolutely, my guy. I'm with you 100% on that. We just got the 7th ranked class. We just got a top 15 recruiting out of the portal. Those guys have yet to play a game in college football at the U. So we'll see what their contributions are this year. So that top 7 and that top 15, we'll see what it turns out to be. And on top of that, we're going to add more classes, more top portal classes on top of that. So it can only go up. It can only go up. You said finally got 4 good DBs as well with the best safety tandem in college in football. They stay healthy. Miami win 10 games. I could see it happening, my guy. I definitely can see that happening. I agree with you 100%. Miami is sleeping. Miami is slept on because they haven't gotten out of the ACC since they've been in it. They've shown sparks, but no fire. I can agree with that too. The stats and the results every year has shown. We've only played in the ACC championship one time, and that was in 2017. So that's facts. This year will turn around. Hey, I feel you on that one. Florida rebuilding. They'll be down. Plus, they schedule's too hard. FSU easy schedule. Miami schedule hard as well. Yeah, Florida this season projected 5.5 is the over and under. So obviously it's going to be tough for them to get wins. Plus all the losses that they took in the portal, at the end of the season and all of that. Like it says, UCF will start battling for guys leaving the state. Yeah, they definitely will. NIL, I'm thinking will not be a problem for UCF in the future. TV money and all the money that they're making out of the Big 12 will help them a lot. So, they'll start competing. But UCF won't see if UFFSU, Miami playing each other no time soon. Y'all will be fighting for recruits. Yeah, I think we've only played UCF twice, if I'm not mistaken. I think we only played them twice. We beat them twice. We're undefeated against UCF. So recruiting wise is where the battle is with Miami and UCF. Miami and Florida is kind of like that too. We'll play Florida 24 and 25, but the next time we play them, God knows when. Who knows when? Because they got to schedule these home and aways every now and then, or they'll have a neutral site in Orlando every now and then. So the battle between Florida and Miami, it exists to a certain extent, but the one between Miami and UCF almost non-existent. But with UCF being in the moving to the Big 12, it might be a lot different. Now, keep in mind, there's a lot of rumors right now flying around. There's a lot of rumors that basically Miami could be going to the Big 10. There's a lot of rumors about the SEC and all that. So keep that in mind too. A lot of college realignment is going on. The Big 10, the biggest payout. They have the biggest payout. So if Miami were to move to the Big 10, geographically, for some of you guys, it might not make sense. Those cold winter games, going up there to Ohio, going up there to Michigan and all those places, Penn State, might not make sense weather-wise for us because, we're used to this good sunny weather down here in South Florida. But at the end of the day, it's the money. It's the money. Why would we want to play for the ACC? Think about it. In 2029, I've done these stats on the channel before. In 2029, the SEC will pay out $105 million to each team in that conference. The ACC will pay 55. So they'll be paying 50 million more than us. Think about that. In the ACC, we'll get paid 55 million in 2029, while the SEC is getting paid 105. 50 million more than us. Crazy, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if this conference dissolved. The grant of rights, though, is a whole different beast to work around. But there are 8 teams already assembled, ready to dismantle this ACC if they can figure out how to get past the grant of rights. Obviously, they had their meetings, all the ADs and everything had their meeting, and they came out and said that they're going to stay with the ACC. I think that's all political talk. I think they're still behind the scenes figuring out how to get out of this thing. I don't think they want to be stuck in this thing. The top teams, Miami, Florida State, Clemson, North Carolina, those teams are basically asking for more money. Well, if you're not going to let us out or this grant of right things is so tough, then maybe you could pay us more than you pay the bottom feeders. Who knows? We'll see how that goes. But, yeah, Miami and Florida State, UCF is coming. So keep that in mind. They will have the resources to compete. They will have the Power 5 stat to use. We're in the Power 5 conference. We're not Group of 5 anymore. You will play top talent. So keep that in mind. You can develop and go up against top talent week in and week out now. Where we at? All right, I see you guys having the conversations amongst each other. That's cool. Aaron. No, I'm going to call you Aaron. No, I'm playing. Aaron. Nah, this ain't got no two A's in it. I'm sorry. But anyway, Miami issue with Mario, Steele, and etc. Year one, Miami competed in every game except for Bama in 2021. Miami didn't compete in most games in year one of Mario in 2022. I agree with you. I agree with you. I went to those games, those home games. I went to them. I went to the Pit. I went to the Florida State. I went to the Middle Tennessee, and all of those games. We did not compete. We did not compete to the level that we should have. Most of those players quit. That locker room was in shambles. A lot of the stuff that we've seen after the season, a lot was said, but during the season, you could see it. You could see it. So this year, some of those players got flushed out, and some of those other players that stayed, that's not really bought in. Eventually, they'll get exposed and they'll get up out of here too. So it is what it is, man. Miami is going in a different direction. Mario Cristobal is installing his own culture, and he got a lot of resources and a lot of guys that could come in and basically embrace that and help push that. So I'm confident that Miami's headed in the right direction. To be honest with you, might take some time, but I believe in them. Big mistake if you think the SEC lets Big Ten scoop up Miami, Florida State, and Clemson. Miami got AAU status. That was one of the requirements for the Big Ten, but I think it doesn't really matter if you had that status. They'll still let you in. Not quite sure if Florida State is AAU status, but I think the Big Ten doesn't really. I don't think it really mattered. I could be wrong. I haven't fact checked, but I think Nebraska, if I'm not mistaken, Nebraska is not AAU, but I could be wrong. But I'll have to double check that to state it as a fact. But I don't think they are, and I think they're still in the Big Ten. So who knows? Florida State and Clemson, I doubt the Big Ten for them. I doubt it. I can't see that happening. I could see it for Miami, but I can't see the Big Ten for FSU and Clemson. I think SEC would be more of a fit for them. I doubt that. I honestly got to say, I doubt that the SEC takes both Miami and Florida State. I doubt that. I don't think Florida, the Gators, I don't think it would be good for them. All right, somebody else. Okay, so this guy is smoking fentanyl this morning.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here. Get out of here, man. Shit, I'm saying.
The cap.
Yeah, okay. Boston College. Yeah, I should have just ignored that comment, but I couldn't help myself. Well, it says more killers in the state of Florida, though. Yeah, absolutely. Talent everywhere. Top players everywhere. Florida is loaded. The state of Florida is loaded. The NFL draft has proven that to you guys every year. The state of Florida is where it's at. It's official. Notre Dame is Big Ten, so won't that make them even? Wait, is Notre Dame in the Big? I haven't seen that anywhere. I've not seen it anywhere that Notre Dame is in the Big Ten. I haven't seen that anywhere. So I can't say that that's true or false, but I didn't see that anywhere. So I'll do my research, but I doubt that. That would have been huge news. That would have been flying everywhere. So if Notre Dame end up joining the Big Ten, I don't see why Miami would not either. I think those two teams would go hand in hand, to be honest with you. If the Big Ten could grab Miami and Notre Dame, they're already a factor. They would literally be a huge factor now. They already, make more money as it is than the SEC. They're at $1 billion when it comes to TV deal. The SEC is like at 800 and something million. So imagine grabbing Miami and Notre Dame, it will go up. It will go up from there. King's in the building. What's going on with you? What's good with you? Shoot, I've been talking for a good 2 hours now. I'm gonna put the link in the chat. So anybody that wants to come on, join in on the discussion that we're having right now, you're more than welcome to. If you got a certain subject you want to talk about, you can also present that. Like I said, I've already been talking for about 2 hours now. So whatever you guys want to talk about, I'm gonna put the link in the chat. You guys could join. You don't have to turn on your camera, but you definitely have to turn on your mic. So when it asks you to allow, you have to say yes. Once you allow it, you could turn the camera off and you come on. So if it asks you to allow, if you want to come on, you have to allow it. Then you can turn the camera off. You don't have to show your face. I know some of you guys self-conscious. You're probably ugly. Hey man, I'm ugly, but hey, I'm right here in front of you. But there you go. The link is in the chat for anybody that wants to join in on the conversation. All right, or give their thoughts and opinions. Or thought I was wrong on something, disagreements, anything like that. See. Dang, I gotta catch up on the chat. It says FSU will win all games this season. Bet. I don't know, man. Listen. I ain't making no bets in June, man. I ain't making no bets in June. Now I will bet that guy that Miami beats Miami of Ohio. I'll bet him $100, of course. But as far as FSU and what they got going on, I'm not making no bets on them. You say they going 12-0, it's possible. It's possible. With the amount of talent they got, it's possible. I do believe they'll blow it, but it's possible. Miami Flow in the building. What's good? Keep up the great work, brother. I appreciate you, man. Make sure you guys follow Miami Flow, man. He always bring you guys, great news, great updates. So make sure you guys, subscribe to the channel if you ain't already. Shout out to Miami Flow. Adrian in the building. What's good? Thumbs up to you too, my brother. Says FSU lose 3 games, all hype, get crushed. I can see that happening too. They won 10 games out of nowhere after going 5-7. So I could definitely see what reality check. I could definitely see that. Most of the guys that they have coming in, the talent through the transfer portal, never played with each other. So I can see them, stumbling a little bit. First game out of the boat, off the boat is LSU. So that could tell me where Florida State is at. If they go out there, they win that game. If they go out there and they beat Clemson, then hey, that might be some trouble. It might be some horses and some Indians rolling around in Tallahassee. They say any truth to Notre Dame and Miami in talks with the Big Ten. Everything's rumors and speculations, but if you had to ask me my thoughts and opinion, I would say it's true. But it's all alleged. Best believe though, all those teams in the ACC and some of the teams in other conferences, best believe they're shopping around. They're looking for the best place possible to land. I'd keep an eye out for Washington and Oregon, though, because those are more out there. Those are more public about actually, jumping conference, jumping from the Pac-12 to join the Big 12, not the Big 12, the Big 10. And then you have Colorado, too. There's rumors around Colorado actually leaving the Pac-12 to go to the Big 12. So a lot of realignment going on. We'll see. I think the only conference, though, to be honest, that's might stick together and might not get any pieces pulled from it is the ACC. Unless that grant of rights is broken, the ACC is stuck together until 2036, unless somebody wants to pay out all that hundreds and millions of dollars to get out of it. So I think the ACC will stick together. I think they're the only conference that could probably stick it out. What is Mario's culture exactly? Um, Mario want guys that are tough physically and mentally. He want guys that are great human beings, leaders. He want guys that are basically honest and guys that are willing to compete and put in the work and don't want no handouts. Plain and simple. Guys that are very accountable. Basically, that's what he wants. You don't want guys down here wearing this uniform just to say, hey, I play football at the U. You want guys down here that say, hey, I competed at the U. I became a great man at the U. I'm moving into whatever career that I am. If it's not football, I'll still be a great human being at the end of the day. That's what he's looking for. Not looking for guys that's just here to say I'm here. ACC status not required but desired by the Big Ten. Right, it's not required. AAU is required for admission. Nebraska lost their AA since joining the league. I still don't think if a team like Miami, well, Miami's AAU status, they just got it, so it won't be an issue for them. But I think if a team like Miami wasn't AAU, I still think they would bring them in just for the amount of revenue and TV, the market, everything. I think they would still let them in. I think they would waive that. For certain teams, you would waive that. Miami is a blue blood. Miami is one of those teams that have not necessarily lived up to the hype for the past 20 years or so, but they still have national attention. When they play, especially when they play big game, people tune in. The ratings are there. Says, don't sleep on the state of Georgia. I wouldn't sleep on the state of Georgia. Outside of Florida, Texas, LSU, and California, Georgia is one of those states that you got to get talent. If you don't get talent from Georgia, then, you probably can't recruit. Yes, sir. Aaron, I can see Miami going to the Big Ten just for TV rights. Right. The TV right is a must. As a Miami fan, I'm out on the Big Ten. We hate playing in cold weather, and all the Big Ten alums retired in the South, retired to South Florida, would never have a home game again. Yeah, I mean, but the way college football is going, you got to follow the money. You got USC, you got UCLA, you got Oregon and Washington literally about to make trips to the East Coast. So at the end of the day, it's where the money's at. It's where the money's at. You can stay in the ACC, get paid less. You can go to the to the SEC, get paid less, or you go to the Big Ten and get paid maximum. I think at the end of the day, most of these schools are looking for the money. Where the money at? And you got to admit, the Big 10, there's chances to win championships there. There's chances. Every single playoff, I think in every single playoff, the Big Ten has been represented. So at the end of the day, you can win championships and you get paid a lot. All right. TY2. I think you meant to say T2Y. Why do people say TY2? Anyway, check out Jamonta Waller, a kid beast. He's 6'2", 225, and he's a 5-star. But Ruben Bay was 6'2", 250, and was a 3-star. Yeah, like I said, star system. It all depends on who's doing it and all that. Sometimes they hit it right on the head. Sometimes they're pretty accurate. I give it to them, but sometimes they off. But I mean, with system, when it comes to evaluating, it's never going to be 100% because it's all projectiles. It's all people projecting. Who's going to be a first rounder? Who's going to get drafted? So that's what that system is about. Ruben Bain, I think he's a generational talent. So at the end of the day, man, it is what it is. They ain't gonna get it right all the time, but most of the time they're pretty on point. But sometimes they do get it wrong. Love the show. Keep your foot on them baby lizards' neck. Yes, sir. Always, every day. He said, Pitt Louisville to the Big 12. That'll make sense. Pitt could play West Virginia every year. They could play. They could bring back the what they call it, a backyard brawl. Yeah, Louisville. Not quite sure where that'll go, but I guess they could play Pitt in West Virginia and build up some more rivals around in that area. Great show. Keep up the good work. Appreciate that, boss. Appreciate that. He said, damn, T2Y 24th. That's tough. Get your first 4-star, though. Happy for you. Laugh out loud. That's not our first 4-star. You tried, though. You tried.
Got him! Got him!
That's not our first 4-star. Chance Robinson, wide receiver. He's our first 4-star. So nice try though. I see what you did there, young Seminole. Try to give a compliment, a backhand compliment. Don't work that way. You say can't go wrong with either the Big Ten or the SEC. My choice is the SEC. I would love for Miami to join the SEC. I would love it. We would get to play Florida every single year. And not only that, I would love for Florida State also alongside Miami to be in the SEC. Those three teams could play each other. They could make all three of those permanent opponent every single season. I would have it that Miami play Florida, Florida State, and Georgia every single season. Wouldn't be too good for Georgia because, well, Miami's SEC now. Most of the talent that would probably leave the state of Florida to go to Georgia would probably defer and stay home. So at the end of the day, I think if Miami, Florida, and Florida State was in the SEC, I think the state of Florida would probably dominate the SEC. Probably would dominate it. I think their only factors probably would end up being either, let's say, Tennessee, LSU, and Alabama on the other side of the spectrum. Those other teams probably would be the only ones to really challenge those three teams if they were in the SEC. That's just my opinion. You said T2Y, what's the K's record this year? If they stay healthy, what you say? I'm gonna stay safe and say, as of right now, I'm gonna go with 7-5, 8-4, one of those. But like I said, if we come out and we beat Texas A&M, we're 5 and we start off 5-0. Because if you look at the schedule, we could win the first 5 games, and then after that, everything after that is like, maybes. So I want to say 7-5, 8-4, and that's coming off of a 5-7 year. That's also coming with new OC, new DC. That's also coming with a lot of transfer portal guys and a lot of recruits, freshmen, and guys that's going into their second year with limited amount of experience. So I'm gonna say around 7-5, 8-4, and that's being realistic. Now, if you ask me when I'm in my bag, when we 5-0, it might be a lot different. It might be a way lot different. You said my bad T2Y. It says 019 next to Miami. I thought y'all turned the big baller and landed your first 4-star. Nah. Cameron Purett is not a 4-star on the composite. He is a 4-star though on the metrics. I'll show you guys. So if you look at our guy here, Purett, when you look at 247 Sports for Purett, so when you look at 247 Sports, they got him listed as a 4-star. In the other metrics, he's not. He's a 3-star in the composite. Most people go by the composite. When I looked at his recruiting, I looked at the 247 Sports. I use 247 Sports composite sometimes, depending if it benefits me. But in the 247 Sport evaluation, they got him listed as a 4-star. So on 247 metric, he's a 4-star. Composite wise, he's just a tad bit under the 4-star metric, so he's considered a 3-star. So there you have it. That's the safety that Miami just got. Now, when you look at the teams that offered him, because a lot of guys are saying, "Oh, y'all got this commit, he ain't this, he ain't that." I want you to look at the teams that gave him committable offers: Alabama, Arkansas, and I'm just gonna go through the SEC. Auburn, Florida. You got Florida. Oh. Kentucky, LSU, Mississippi State, Missouri, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Texas A&M, Vanderbilt. Pretty much every single SEC team offered this kid. Only one I didn't see, I think, is South Carolina. I didn't see South Carolina. I did see Alabama, Arkansas, Auburn, Florida, all of them. The one I didn't see is South Carolina. South Carolina was the only one I think that didn't offer them. So at the end of the day, this is a guy that was highly sorted. 4-star on the 247 Sports metric. And 3-star on the composite. So obviously it's either ESPN 0-3 or Rival. That's pretty much weighing him down to where he's at a composite of a 3-star. But he has a whole season to play. This is a kid out of the state of Alabama. He's listed as a safety. Now he will not be playing safety at Miami. He'll be playing linebacker. They're going to put some weight on him. I know right now he's listed at 187. He's going to be bumped up to 210 at Miami. This is a 6'3", 187 guy. So they're going to bump him up to 210. According to Derek Nicholson, that's the linebackers coach, Florida State alumni too. South Carolina and Georgia. Thank you, Mo Better 04. South Carolina and Georgia was the only two SEC teams that didn't offer him. Says T2Y, you and Turn Tally had the best debates, but rocking with you since then as an FSU fan. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you, boss. Turn Tally, man. Shout out to Turn Tally. He hasn't done videos in years now, but shout out to him. I still do shows though with 863 Seminole TV every now and then. We haven't done a show in a minute because, to be honest with you, the news between Florida State and Miami has been pretty low lately. I know June right now is going to pick up, so I think in the near future you'll see more shows with us. Definitely. I'll definitely reach out to 863 Seminole TV a little bit more in the future. When we start getting more steady news, and especially going into the season, getting closer to the season, we'll have a lot more news for you guys on the Florida State side and the Miami side. where we could actually, start debating a little bit. Who's got the best, position groups and all that kind of thing when things are more solidified. So definitely look out for those. Closer towards the season 2, when the news, like with all this recruiting going on, with all these visits going on, all these commitments and everything, I'll start back doing my shows the Monday, the Wednesday, and the Friday shows. That way I could dedicate one show to Miami, one show to Florida, and I'll dedicate another show to Florida State. I'm looking for a Florida fan, to be honest with you. Florida fan, a Florida fan, a Florida Gator fan. I'm looking for one of those for Gator Fridays. Somebody that could be like a permanent host, a permanent co-host when we do those shows, because I pretty much the past couple of years have kept up with Miami and Florida State a lot more than I kept up with the Florida Gators. I've just recently started, throwing them in there a little bit more, but I kind of want a Florida Gator fan to come on the channel and speak some Gator football, because at the end of the day, it's only so much I could talk about the Florida Gators. I could talk about Miami all day. I could somewhat talk about Florida State, but the Gators, I haven't kept up with them in years, so it's kind of like learning a new language with them. Got to worry about Miami of Ohio first before you 5-0 laugh out loud, the real Miami. See, what I told you guys earlier. If we lose the Miami of Ohio, this is the kind of thing you would deal with. I don't want to deal with that. Hold on, it says T2Y, I'm 9-3, none less. All right. Well, if we end up 9-3, I promise you, no Miami fan should be disappointed. No Miami fan should be disappointed. The expectations are pretty, not say high, but are like medium this year. It says any loss for jumping Jimbo Fisher will be a smile on my face. Yeah, that's tough. He said, laughable. UGA recruiting nationally. Miami was offering big bags last year, and UGA still got some South Florida kids because they were looking for development. That won't change. Last year, not necessarily Miami was offering bags and they committed to Georgia. It's last year Miami had an unproven staff that got put together at the last minute, basically. So some of those kids, at the last minute, they was told who the defensive coordinator was. At the last minute, offensive coordinator is this guy. Some of those guys had great relationships with other schools already. Some of them had great relationship with the staff at Miami already, but left. So it's a lot of different components could go into that. But moving forward, we'll see what happens. I do think Georgia will still get players from Florida regardless. But when in the near future, like I said, it will be a lot more difficult, especially if Miami can get the steam going. If Florida could get the steam going, it'll be a lot more harder for teams like Georgia to come down here and get top players. They'll still be able to, but it won't be as frequent as it is now. He says, stupid ATM boosters paying Jimbo $90 million for a coach, no better than the one they had for a fraction of the money. Right. You got to look at Jimbo's situation. Jimbo came into Texas A&M fresh off winning at Florida State. He's a national championship coach. He's at Florida State, blah, 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 recruiting good and everything like that. And then he left Florida State in shambles and went on over to Texas A&M, got a huge payout, got a huge paycheck. So 6 years into it now, I think, and Texas A&M look no better. So, I mean, it's tough. But you got to look at the payout, too. Do you really want to fire Jimbo Fisher and pay him like $80, $90 million? I mean, Texas A&M got money, but do you want to throw it away? I, I don't know. And if you do fire Jimbo, who would you replace him with? He said I could be the permanent Gator troll. Laugh out loud. Hey man, those Gator Fridays. If Gators don't want to come on the show and talk about their team and represent their team in a good light, you can hit the link. You could come on the show and you could trash talk them right along with me. But I will give them the opportunity to have their fan base and have their fans come on the show and talk about their team first. If not, me and you could trash them all day, young Semino. We could trash them all day. We could get them riled up, triggered. T2Y out of the 5-star visit in Miami, who got a chance to get all of them. All of them. Justin Scott, definitely. We could get him. David Stone, we could get him. I think that probably is a Miami and Oklahoma battle. Breland, we could definitely get him too. I think he flew out of Miami this morning. Yeah, but we could definitely get him. Ellis Robinson, who's committed to Georgia. I think we got a good chance with him, but Georgia is a tough team to battle off right now for his recruitment. Plus, other teams are taking swings at him. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm not sure. I think he has a visit to Colorado too, if I'm not mistaken. So Deion might take a swing at him also. So I think it's possible that we could get him, but might be a long shot. But the guy that I would look forward to the most that Miami probably could flip is Jeremiah Smith from Ohio State. I know that's a battle that's been going on. He's been committed to Ohio State. I know Florida is making their claim for him. JoJo Trader, I think he's a Hurricane. Florida State is thinking otherwise. They're thinking they're going to get him, but I think he's a Miami Hurricane. So it's a lot of guys, man. It's a lot but the 5-star guys that we have on campus, I think we got a fair chance with all of them. Right now, we have one of those guys that's on the visit. He's committed, but he hasn't made it public yet. 2 guys committed yesterday. Two of the recruits that we had on campus committed yesterday. One of them's already public. We already talked about him. Right there on the screen, you can see him. Cameron Pewitt. He committed safety/linebacker. The other guy, they haven't made it public yet. They kind of want to give Cameron Pewitt the time to get his shine, and then boom, once his shine slow down, and the chit chatter about him slow down, then boom, the other guy commitment will come out. You might see it sometime today. You might see it sometime this week, whenever they give him the green light to go ahead and make it public. But he had two commitments coming out of the University of Miami this weekend so far. Who knows? Maybe we could get another one today. But if anything, I'll drop a video and let you guys know, of course, when it happens. If I'm giving information about a kid recruit or whatever that's supposed to make a commitment, I can't just come and tell you guys on the internet, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be the one to ruin a kid's commitment or to leak a kid's commitment, because that's a bad reputation. I might not be able to get no more information after that. I'll have a bad stink. I'll have a stink around my name. So at the end of the day, if I'm giving information about a kid committing or whoever the kid is, in this particular instant, I don't have the name of the kid. Let me make that clear. I don't have the name of the kid that is committed, but I know there's 2 commitments. One was made last night, and one will be public soon. So once I get his name, I still can't put it out. Until he commits, I can't put it out. I won't even give hints or anything like that, because I would hate to be the one to ruin a kid's commitment. All right. Miami schedule tough, though. Yeah, we do have a tough schedule. Like I said, a lot of those games, I can't. I just gotta wait and see to see. Um, Mr. Ashy, he said, "Stop the cap. FSU is king of Florida. Miami won't beat us. Your life, bet your life on it." Don't know who exactly he's talking to, but Florida State is not this dominant force that they think they are. You're really not. He said Georgia's gonna always get players from Florida because they're a powerhouse and they next door. Right. They'll still get their talent. Miami, Florida State, and Florida tighten up. It just won't be as frequent, but they will still get talent from here. As long as Georgia's winning games and developing players and putting them in the league, they will get their talent. They will get it out of the state of Florida. Alabama, they'll do it too, and the rest of them SEC schools, they'll do it too. No doubt, Kirby and the Dogs have got it going. Smart, all that dumb, big guy. Smart, not all that dumb, right? Kirby landing helicopters and taking Florida recruits, man. That's how it goes. Texas A&M actually looking worse now, at least before Jimbo had a Heisman winner and beat Bama in a few times. Yeah. Where we at? They said, "Damn, T2Y, you a snake? That's tough, laugh a lot. Wait, how am I a snake? Explain that, Studio One. How am I a snake?" You said, "T2Y, your reputation already bad. Let me know how my reputation bad. Name one recruit that's committed that I've like put out their commitment before they committed, before they get to shine for their commitment. Normally, I don't even put out a video right away when a kid commit. I actually give them the chance to commit. Sometimes I even wait an hour or two after they commit to let people know that they commit. Because I don't want to take the buzz. Normally when these kids commit, I could go live. I could go live from anywhere. I could pick up my phone, go on YouTube, and go live and say, "Hey, this kid is committing right now," or "Hey, this kid is on Instagram," and I could show you guys their Instagram and everything like that. And what that would do is take eyes off their Instagram and put eyes on my YouTube. I don't want to do that. I want, if they're committing, you guys go over to their Instagram, you watch their commitment live, not watching my channel. Plain and simple. That's just how I do things. I'll drop a 3-minute video after a kid commits and say, "Hey guys, this guy just committed. His weight, his attributes, this is what he's done. His stats are this." Give you guys a couple photos of him so you guys actually know what he looks like, what we're getting. And then, ask you guys for your thoughts and opinions. Tell you guys, how I feel about it. How you feel about Kirk and Harold? Speed. That's what I feel. I feel speed. I feel like we need speed. We need to go over the top. We need to create some space. I feel like basically we've been missing that dominant speed. We are the University of Miami. We were known for speed. And then for the past couple of years now, our receivers hasn't showed speed. That's what we need. We need speed. So Kirk coming in and Harold coming in, fast guys. Absolutely. I love it. That's how I feel. Now they got to go out there on the field and show me what they're working with and show me that they can, take that speed to the next level and go out there and catch some balls, go over the top, get some separation, get some explosive plays, because we've been lacking that. Last year we was like one of the worst teams when it came to explosive plays. So I think those guys are gonna be great, man. If they could go out there, work, and make their way on the field, and go out there, catch some balls, make some explosive plays. I think Mario going into the portal and getting those guys would be a success story. Do you feel good about the Canes DBs now with the four new DBs they got? Um, at UCF, Brown, he was pretty decent. He was pretty good. One of the top corners. Um, it's hard. It's hard to say what that DB room is like. It's hard to say. I think Fall is gonna say. I think Fall is gonna say a lot. I can't solidify any guy, man. To be honest with you, because for the past season or so, I've been seeing DJ Ivy. I've been seeing a lot of Tariq Stevenson and Takari Couch and those guys here and there. So it's hard to say what this DB room is going to look like. Some of those guys coming from different programs, Nebraska, Oklahoma, and stuff like that. It's going to be tough to say what that room is going to look like, what those guys are going to be at Miami. So I'm on a wait and see. I'm on a wait and see. And Studio One said, "Don't skip the wait. What? Hold on, I'll get to it in a sec." Ahmad Richards was the last great wide receiver. The Canes said, sad he had that injury. Yeah, I mean KJ Osborne transferred in and he did pretty well, but he was the transfer. Rambo did pretty decent, but they weren't really want to say top quality top guys like that. But you're right about that. Ahmad was the last wide receiver. Jeff Thomas had potential, just couldn't harness it. Um, I think Cager would have been great, but he transferred to Georgia. So it's a lot. It's a lot going on at the position. Hopefully, Kevin Beard could turn that situation around. I think this past season, us having Gaddis kind of set us back a little bit in that position because Gaddis literally couldn't really get any of the top receivers because of his trash offense, to be honest. So guys like Brandon Ennis and Jalen Brown and all those guys, they got away from us. And most of those guys, Gaddis was top guys. Gaddis didn't even want him. So it's like crazy. I think that receiving position is going to turn around. So long as Beard keep putting his hands on him. I think Nathaniel Joseph is definitely going to be another guy to watch out for too. I kind of want to see Frank Ladson because I don't know what's the deal with him, but haven't been heard any good news on him the whole spring. So kind of want to see where he's at too. T2Y, a healthy Cheney is a problem. Him being healthy is a plus, but Citizen, I don't think Citizen is going to play this year. To be honest with you, I think by the end of the season, his injury will be fully healed. I don't think he'll play this season. If he does, it'll probably be a red shirt kind of season. He's a monster if he stay healthy. I agree with you. Citizen came in with the prototype body to play right away. Unfortunately, got hurt in the spring of last year. So I think by the end of this season, he'll be fully ready to go. And then we could finally, probably see what he's really like. Don't skip over the part I was joking. After you took 3 minutes asking and explaining why and how you a snake. T2Y, you from the hood, you know what a joke is. Yeah, yeah. I don't see no comment about you joking, but I get it though, bro. I get it. I'll take that stuff serious. I don't take it serious. You good? You good in my book. We need wide receivers with top end speed. Yeah, definitely. Um, I think Pope, had he held on to the ball, had he put in the proper time and development, I think he could have been somebody at Miami. Unfortunately, the drops and he didn't pan out. I think he could have been somebody. It says coach should be Great Couch should be a starting DB. We'll see. We'll see. The fall is amongst us, guys. Coming up pretty soon. We'll see. A lot of guys are on campus now. I just seen some of the guys, some of the linebackers. Tommy Kinzer looked like a big beast that looked like a grown man already. He's on campus. Popo's on campus. Spencer's on campus. Mark Fletcher is here. So it's this man. This fall, I think is going to turn up a lot. I think so. I think so. I think those boys are ready to come in and rattle the room a little bit. Turn turn the level up a little bit. Most of the talking heads that Jimbo Fisher has a better gig at FSU, managing to elevate. Jimbo, I don't really want to talk about Jimbo because I don't know what Texas A&M is going to do. I don't know if they're fed up with him enough to pay him all that money. So, I'll wait till the end of the season to even evaluate Jimbo Fisher. Cal starting DB. Love seat. Man, y'all are vicious, bro. Oh man, that's tough. Mackin. At T2I, these gonna be the Kings' good wide receivers: Restrepo, George, Kurt, Ray, Harold, Harton, Young, Brashad. Damn, Ladson fell off. That's tough. We'll see though. All right, so we got a guest in the back. Dez from Pope. What's going on with you?
What's up, my brother?
What's good? What's your topic?
Anything Miami related. I mean, how you feel this weekend? I mean, we got them big dogs here. We the talk of the town. I mean, I'm just ready to get it. I'm really just trying to start the algorithm up. You know what I'm saying? Let people start joining in. Cause you did put that link in there like 2-3 times. I'm just representing them Canes right now. We here.
Yeah, man, tremendous weekend. To be honest with you, one of Miami's biggest weekends ever historically when it comes to recruiting. So we got 5-star guys on campus, a lot of 4-star guys. We got one to pop last night. We got another one that's going to pop soon. 2 commitments so far out of the weekend. Could possibly be more, depending on the news that we get today. So I think it's a success.
Yes, sir. And see, I'm a Lakeland Dreadnought, you know what I'm saying? Kind of hurt me last year. See Kamari go his own way. So 2010 alum. So it kind of hurt me, you know what I'm saying? I thought we had him. But
Now, to preserve your heart in the future, any DB, especially corner, that you see that has a visit or is being recruited by Deion, don't put too much stock in that guy.
oh yes, sir. My cousin, my little cousin, he run Pope Way, so you know what I'm saying? Shout him out, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, shout out to Pope, man.
That's my little cousin right there. So he thought he was a Gator the whole time. So I'm telling you, nobody knew where he was really going, low key. Like, that pipeline from Lakeland to the Gators been going on since Chris Rainey, the Pouncey twins, and Maya Black, that 06, 07 class. But yeah, man, I think we're gonna be good this year.
Kamani, when he committed to Miami, I was surprised because he had visited Florida so many times. He has been seen on campus so many times. So when it was time to commit and he said Miami, I was like, whoa, that kind of caught me by surprise. Nobody really saw it coming. But the stories that was coming out was like, the relationship he had with DVD was great.
Yeah.
And then, of
He,
course,
he
the
found out he
promoter.
wasn't gonna be the coach no more. He knew
Yeah.
before everybody.
So now he finds out that DVD's not going to be on the field. He goes out to Boulder, Colorado. You got Deion Sanders, one of the greatest to ever do it in your ear, and he's going to be the one to coach you, give you tips. I mean, I can't be mad at it.
Yes, sir. How you feel?
Disappointed, but not mad.
How you feel like? All right, so say for instance, Mario. I was just watching the spring game not too long ago, and they were like, we got 51 new, like, what I'm saying, new additions since Mario been. He has original 51 players on the team out of 85. We got 85 scholarships. 51 is Mario era. So this class, I'm thinking what 25 to 30 recruits. That's 80. He done flipped the whole roster. But we're gonna be young again next year. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause a lot of them done took a red shirt outside of like what Ja'Cory Brown and Najee Lee Kelly. I think everybody else was like red shirted from his, like, you know what I'm saying, his first class when he barely got here. Last year was a full class. You know what I'm saying?
That's why.
So how many more years we got? We got a year and a half, like 2 years really, because like you got to think about that first season. You got to put that behind because that's only 14 commits. That ain't even the full class.
Now, when you think about it this way, Mario full cycle last year. He came in at the end of the first, so full cycle last year, full cycle this year,
Uh-huh.
and then he'll have a full cycle next season. 3 seasons of recruiting top guys. We're gonna be young,
That's what I'm saying. You can't
but we're
count
gonna
that
but we're
first year
gonna
though.
be
You know what I'm saying? Only 2 players really played from that class last year.
right. So we're gonna be pretty young, but we also gonna vitalize the transfer portal. We're gonna get some talent out of there, some guys with experience. We're not necessarily swinging
Yeah, he's from
for
the 23 class.
we're not swinging to, let's say,
Uh,
build a whole roster off the portal. You know, get all veterans from the portal. We're doing it, getting bits and pieces here, dead pieces here. That way, we could basically give some of the snaps to the younger guys to have them develop. So when they get into the later years, the junior and senior years, they're ready to go. They're veterans. They they,
they're gonna have that
they
confidence.
got the
Yeah.
experience. Not like how you see Florida State is doing it. They'll go in there and get a whole team and play those guys.
I'm glad you brought all that
Or
up. I'm glad you brought all that up. How many of these freshmen right now? And I'm gonna include the last year's class because most of them was you know what I'm saying, they were red shirts, so it's still like their first time getting on the field. How many of them do you see getting snaps this year? Like besides
significance.
outside of Francis, which we already know who's starting, he gonna get the most snaps. You know what I'm saying? Any like all of them from last year and this year. Like, who do you see like 5 players like that you see like, and Najee Kelly because he played last year too. You
All
can,
right,
but
so
outside of them
I'll
two,
say
who do you see your 5 players like really coming in and showing their worth for what we gonna have for the future, long term?
I'll say on the offensive side, definitely Francis, of course. He'll get
He's
snaps. I
starting.
think
He already
Pancake,
starting. That's why I'm saying I don't even want to count him.
yeah, Pancake, he's gonna get some snaps.
Mhm.
Those two guys, you ain't gonna be able to keep them off the field.
Do Zion
Um,
touch the field this year? Is he ready?
if he's ready, he'll definitely play. He'll definitely
So you
play.
don't got no
I don't
update on
know
that.
how much.
No, like
I don't know how many. Oh, he's gonna play.
okay.
He's gonna play. But I don't know how much snaps he's gonna take and if he can stay healthy. That's the question mark. Um, but Pancake, Francis, they'll definitely play. Behind Restrepo, you'll have Ray Joseph. He'll definitely get his snaps. He'll definitely play. You ain't gonna be able to keep Ray off the field. Um, Freshman wise, who else? You'll definitely see more out of Skinner.
Uh-huh.
So he'll get some significant
Yeah,
snaps.
Skinner done red shirt
Offensive.
though. I'm just saying like red shirt, just like keeping it between the red shirts, the people that we didn't see at all. Like since they've been a Hurricane, like we're talking red shirt freshmen and incoming freshmen. Like we seen Skinner, we know what Skinner can. You know what I'm saying? We got an idea what he can do.
Right. And also at that same position, Riley Williams. You'll see
I
some of
love
him
Riley
too.
Williams.
So on the defensive side, definitely Ruben Bain,
Uh-huh.
Najee Kelly, of course. You'll definitely see at the linebackers position.
Oh yeah, I
Bassett.
forgot about the same. I forgot to say he was one of the ones that played.
Um,
I want to see that. What's the dude from Bishop Gorman? Tall kid, light skin. What's the man name?
I forgot on the offensive side too. Mark Fletcher.
Yeah, I want to. I never seen
Fletcher.
him live, but man, he beat up Lake Gibson. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, I'm from Lakeland, so we hear it all. We see it all on the video, YouTube and stuff. So yeah, but he beat him up bad. He the truth.
So I definitely think most of the freshmen they'll get snaps. Some of them will get more significant snaps. Some will get higher snaps than others. But I do think this team is young. Somebody says Cyrus
Yeah,
Moss.
Cyrus
I don't
Moss. Yeah,
see
that's the one I
Cyrus.
was talking about. That I was saying like I want to see him
I
play.
don't see him getting as many significant snaps as you would give it to like Najee Kelly, because you got to remind yourself that they'll still have Jafari Harvey.
Yeah, but look at the scheme though. They got that stand up edge rushing now. He's gonna get some
But
snaps.
I still think he'll get more of the snaps than the rest
Oh,
of the guys still
yeah.
though.
That's what I was saying. I ain't want to count Najee. I
So
just forgot about
when it comes down to distributing it, he'll get most of it. I think Najee Kelly will get like the second most, and then you'll throw the other guys in there like Moss and all of them. So I don't think Moss snaps will be that significant. Plus, he's just now putting on the weight and getting a lot
I
better.
can't wait to see him play. Cause man, he was rated higher than Najee.
Yeah, he got a lot of upside to him.
Yeah.
If he could put on the weight, he could be our Russo.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's Collins right there. Achipong or whatever how you say his name. He like Russo.
Can't even forget about him.
That's what I was saying. We getting there.
I say because we young, but we getting top talent. So
Eventually we gonna be looking like that.
man,
all right, so think about it.
that's what I'm saying.
2
Like
years, right?
give Mario another cycle or so,
yeah.
and we'll be I won't say necessarily top of the chart, but we'll be competing.
We're gonna be there.
We're gonna compete.
Yeah, like physical wise, depth wise, we're gonna be there. And that was what I was just about to bring up too. Look at like everybody say, look at the players he bringing in, the size, right? On defense alone. In the next 2 cycles, we won't have one player on our defense that's under 6 foot. Look at the DB, look at the safeties he just recruited. If they don't grow a half an inch, he gonna be the only player. The 2 safeties he just brought in 6'3", 6'2". You feel me? Like this whole team is gonna be big, and that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, bro, that old one team I be seeing all this stuff. I'm like, Mario building one right now. Like, I haven't seen him bring in nobody. Like, look at everybody on the line: 6'4", 6'5", 6'6". This team's gonna be big. That's what I'm like. And I'm like, I see what he doing. Look at the last visit he brought in. He brought in this one dude last week. He's 6'4" linebacker, like Bobby Washington. How tall he is? Like 6'2", 6'3". Like I'm saying, like everybody, there's not gonna be one play on that defense in the next 2 years that's under 5 feet, like that's under 6 feet tall. We're gonna have one of the biggest defenses.
I forgot to mention Washington too.
Yeah. He's like that's what I'm saying. Like we getting there. Like that's what I'm like, man. This talent acquisition, I'm feeling it because I'm telling you, next 2 years, like you just said, because you can bring in the 25, 30 man class this year, the last one I think. That's the whole roster. If you already brought in 51 new players since you've been here, and then you bring in 30 more, that's 80. You know what I'm saying? I think Mario give him this year, and then that next recruiting class, you're gonna see a whole different beast out of these Canes. I'm telling you. As long as we get that quarterback position like solidified and straightened, that might be our only problem because I see we got world class speed at the running back position. I graduated in 2010 from the Dreadnoughts, and there was this guy named Ben McRoy. He broke the 200-meter dash and all that kind of stuff. So we seen world class speed. That dude, Chris Johnson, that boy special. And it's like he's like a Chris Rainey. You know what I'm saying? Like we seen that kind of speed before, and that's generational speed right there. So people sleeping on him. I hear the Mark Fletcher chanting. Like I know he's gonna be good, but Chris Johnson, I think he's gonna be a home run threat every time he touch the ball. And people ain't even like Ray was saying he the fastest on the team. He ain't run no 10-2. So
That's gonna be interesting. I want to see them two race.
no, I don't want to see them two race. I want to see him and Harold race. Let's get a real race going. You feel me? We here
Get all three of them to race.
all three. We got a 4x1 team.
Yeah.
We finally getting speed back. Like Mario said, we're gonna get size, speed, and that man ain't said nothing that he ain't been doing. That man, Mirabal said he'll cut off his arms before the O-line the problem. And you see nothing but talent coming. Like we got the one dude at right guard, and he would get like he looked like one of the best linemen on the team. You feel me? At right guard, I think we're gonna be good, man. Mario bringing his guys in. That O-line young. We get it like Mario is playing with. It's like people got to realize Mario didn't take over. Like you know how you go. All right, so put it like this: you go on marketplace. I feel like we bought a car that was sitting in the backyard. The dude wasn't driving no more. We got it cheap. That thing
I'll make it even. I'll make it simpler for you. Mario didn't take over Ohio State like Ryan Day.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ain't like he bought no car on marketplace. And you got to put a lot of work into it. You need a new engine. Like it ain't like he bought a car brand new. All he needed some rims on it, put some music in it. And now he bought a project car. Mario bringing it back though. That's what I'm saying. Like that defense gonna be stank. I don't know who. It don't matter who run that defense. You can't even mess it up with how he doing at the next year class. On top of this one, I don't see nobody that's gonna touch the field that's under 6 feet tall.
I'm right along with you, but I'm about to call the show, man. About to end this thing. It's been almost 3 hours now.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you letting me on. Like,
Anytime.
yes, sir.
Anytime I'm doing the shows, if you're in the chat, you want to come on, speak your mind, more than welcome.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna go ahead and log out now. Let you close out. Do your thing.
All right, boss. Take it
Yes,
easy.
sir. You too.
All right, guys. Appreciate each and every one of y'all for tuning in with me today. Go Canes. Florida State. Gator. Y'all do y'all thing too, I guess. Y'all have a good day. Go Canes.